Intro.
1-0.
Uh, and welcome to Isfjell. And I don't think there's much to say before we get going today, other than welcome back, everyone, and welcome back to Eldis. We can finally find out what Eldis has been up to and whether I've managed to murder her off screen. But yes, if you are new, just joining us now, all past episodes of Isfjell are up on our YouTube. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube. We're trying to get to that 100 subscribers so that we can just have a nice short URL rather than one that calls Cthulhu every time you say it.
There's also a giveaway if we get Haunted Chronicles and Isfjell to 100 on YouTube. There are going to be 2 winners of gift cards to Drive Through RPG.
Oh.
So,
Even
courtesy
more
of Mixtabber
incentive.
Studios, because they hit 500 followers. And they've already got their wonderful YouTube group and wonderful Discord, so there you go.
So yes, there's that. But yes, last week, 4 of our heroes had set off from the town of Raven's Rest, following the trail of the giants to their camp, and leaving Aldous just keep an eye on the boat, get some downtime, possibly resummon her familiar after the tragic loss of Sindri. But she'll be back. Maybe. And they heading to the giants' camp. They found a bit of treasure. They rescued 4 kidnapped villagers, including Svanhild's husband Fritjof, much to Torvald's relief that he has not had to marry Svanhild, Torvald's #1 fan. But after they've left their rescued prisoners upstairs, and they ventured deeper into this dwarven ruin tomb temple. You're not entirely sure what it is, but it wasn't completely empty. So you've ran into a couple of old guardians left behind in the form of snake statues, dwarf statues, just generally statues of trouble. But also a strange undead creature that was stalking through the darkness that you did manage to defeat, but was quite tough, actually. I was quite impressed you got out of that one quite as well as you did. But having defeated the creature and fought your way past the automata, you've just unsealed these great doors to reveal a glowing altar with ghosts knelt in worship before it. And we'll get to what happens next and how terrible things are about to go in a moment. But in the meantime, I think we should find out what Aldous is up to. And before that, roll the intro. Before there was light, there was darkness. Before there was all. An endless war between the gods and their enemies. A war the gods could not win. Till a champion arose, wielding a weapon of otherworldly power. The war was won, the enemy banished, but the weapon was shattered, its fragments scattered across the new formed world. Now, thousands of years later, many seek the fragments of that long-lost weapon. Among them, our 5 brave heroes. The druid, troubled by dreams and his own temper. The blacksmith turned warrior in search of revenge. The raider, determined to protect her friends and her growing family. The traveller from a distant land, guardian of those down on their luck. And the girl willing to sell her soul for a taste of adventure. Their hunt will take them to distant and dangerous lands, far beyond the borders of Isfjell. Okay, so, Aldous. Last night you arrived in this small town of Raven's Rest. And in between defending it from the attack by giants, you met a few of the locals, including a half-orc priestess called Vigdis, who appears to be a priestess of Lord Grimm. And if you are wishing to resummon Sindri, she will happily lend you the necessary brazier. And
oh yes, most definitely.
Yeah, help arrange for you to resummon Sindri as you're keeping an eye on the boat and waiting for the others to return from they've just gone to check out the giants' camp. It'll be fine. They're not going to get into too much trouble.
Okay.
So yeah, are you wishing to resummon Sindri?
Yes, most definitely.
And what shape would you like Sindri to take?
Her original shape.
The cat.
The cat, yes, the fairy cat.
Yes. So yeah, you burn up the incense in this brazier and watch as it forms up into the familiar shape of a slightly annoyed-looking cat, like hair sticking up at odd angles.
Okay.
That was very unpleasant.
I'm sorry. I called you back as soon as I could.
Fine. Is there fish?
Yeah, yes, there is fish, and I will go and get her a fish.
In which case, all is forgiven. Although I got quite a talking to from the Queen. She's
It
I'm not sure you're in her best books at the moment.
Probably not. Probably not.
But yeah, you feed Sindri this fish, and as you're sat on the boat waiting as the morning passes by, it's about midway through the morning that you feel this strange prickling on the back of your neck. It's like this static buzzing in the air. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
I had everything except for my dice ready.
Sorry.
No, it's my fault. At least they're within easy reach.
Please hold for dice. Please hold for dice.
For now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's what? 18 plus 1, 19.
Okay, 19. Just work out modifiers here. Okay, so yeah, you just the hairs on the back of your neck standing up, and then the feeling passes, and all is still. It's a fairly nice, bright morning. The wind rustling in the conifers around Raven's Rest. The sound of crows off in the distance, and further off in the distance, the howl of wolves. Okay. And then there's this crackling in the air in front of you on the boat. It's like this buzz of sparks, and out of nowhere, a figure appears. This young elven woman with long black hair and this tightly buttoned like reddish brown coat with a thick fur collar.
Does she look familiar to me?
No, she appears sort of standing on your boat and you're fiddling with this ring on her finger. She looks very well dressed.
Who are you?
Good. It worked. Splendid. Sometimes it can be slightly off in calibration. You are Aldous?
Yes, who are you?
My name's Venley.
Venley.
Yes.
Does the name sound familiar to me?
Make me an intelligence check. Because
No. I rolled a
no,
1.
no, I'm not going to give you the hint there. Yes, sorry. Teleporting just always leaves me a bit addled for a moment. Just let me get my breath back for a sec. May I sit down for a moment?
Sure. There's a bench right next to you.
Thank you. Right. I've been trying to get in touch with you for a while, actually. You and your companions. But the scrying hasn't been taking. I've had to, gather a few more accoutrements to help out. But that seems to work this time round. Got a good lock on their position. Hopefully, this should make things a lot easier in the future. Should we need to talk again?
Okay.
Is it just you at the moment?
Yes. I'm minding the ship.
Well,
What do you
that's
need?
probably not too bad. I think you possibly maybe it's better talking one-on-one first before getting everyone else involved. From what I hear, some of the others can be a little volatile in certain situations.
That is not wrong.
No. Yes. So, my name is Venley. I am here to make you an offer of a future. One could almost call it business arrangement, alliance, strategic friendship between myself and you and your fellow adventurers. You see, I believe I could be of great assistance to you, and I believe you could be of great assistance to me.
Or what?
Well, for starters, I suspect I could help you out with your situation regarding the Queen in the Mirrors. And now, you see, my people have a long history of dealing with the Fae. We know more about them than most of the other races of this world. And look, I don't mean to get ahead of myself here, but you seem to have got yourself in a little bit of a debt situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know what it's like to owe your magic to someone powerful and dangerous, and I have had a lot of work in getting out from under their thumb, and I would like to offer some assistance to you in that matter.
What does it entail?
Well,
first.
Yes.
You said you and your people. Who are your people?
Oh, elves.
Aside from that.
No, literally, that just is what I meant. That elves have we've, over the history of elven kind, we've had many dealings with the Fae.
Okay.
I myself am currently under the employ of the Empire of Eldenra for the time being.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I thought so.
But yes, I can offer you assistance in that matters. But that is not everything. I am a wizard of not inconsiderable ability, and I have contacts, and I have means, both monetary and magical, and I can offer assistance in communication and transportation. I can bring you almost anyone you wish, whether, family members you're separated from, loved ones, certain red-haired elves, whatever it is that you or your companions desire or want. I can help provide.
So, considering my current debt,
Mm-hmm.
I will not make any agreements without conferring with my companions.
Oh, definitely. I wasn't trying to push you into anything right now. This is just like a first contact, one could call it. Hang on.
What is it that you need help with?
Ah, yes. Now, I believe you're looking for something. Am I right?
Who isn't looking for something?
Well, something specific, the wand. Now, I don't want it. I want to borrow it. I don't wish to keep it. I have no desire to have that thing in the long term. Just I can help you gather a few more pieces. Once a few more pieces are gathered, I would like the loan of it, perhaps for a couple of days, to help out with a little matter I have. Yes?
2 problems.
Mm-hmm.
The first problem is the final piece is with the Queen of Mirrors.
Oh, I don't need all of it. I just need
The second problem
some
is
of it.
the wand is not in my possession, and therefore I have absolutely no say over what it does. So you will have to wait to speak with everybody else about it.
Oh yes. I mean, I don't mind waiting or coming back at another time. She digs around in her pocket and pulls out like a pendant, a stone pendant attached to a necklace. Because, as I said, no decisions have to be made now. You can use this to get in touch with me at any time, and I can be there.
I will take it from her, and then I will wrap it up in a corner of my skirt.
But anyway, where was I? Yes, so I'm perfectly happy to wait to speak with the rest of your companions.
Okay. They've been gone for a while. Like I said, I'm here watching the boat.
Well, I don't mind waiting with you.
If
Or we could go look for them.
they have been gone for a while. Wait here. Sindri, do you mind guarding?
I don't mind.
Thank you. I'm gonna grab the little brass brazier that I had borrowed, and I'm going to go and return it to the high priestess that was there.
Yeah, you return it to Vigdis.
Vigdis, sorry. And I am going to speak with her.
Yes.
I've
forgotten my Vigdis voice, but yes.
Do you know about how long it takes to get to and from the giants' encampment?
Well, we don't know exactly where they were, but I believe one of your friends scouted it out, and they worked out it was only like an hour or so. Maybe they said it was going to take them maybe a couple of hours. I can't remember exactly.
How long ago did they leave?
Probably at this point about 3 hours ago. Actually, no, less. Yeah, about 3 hours ago. Maybe less.
Maybe less. Okay, so... Alright, I guess I'll give it 1 more hour before I go and get them. Thank you. Here's your...
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. It's good to meet a fellow follower of the gods and someone who, I'm always happy to help.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Somebody new is here. Do you have a place to put them for a little bit?
She looks around at this like small settlement with like a long house and a few other houses.
The long house.
We can put them in the long house, give them some ale.
That works. Thank you. All right. I will talk to you later. I'm going to go back to the boat and say, there's the longhouse right there if you'd like some refreshments.
Oh, that would be splendid. It is delightfully rustic.
It's comfortable, like home.
Yes, I've never actually been to Isfjell, but it was, yeah, it's on my list once I get some free time off to travel. I've been a bit busy lately, what with the whole Telefen situation and all that. But yes,
Okay.
Right, lead the way.
I will take her to the longhouse, and we'll get something to eat and drink, and you can check in with the other players.
All right. Yeah, so you head over to the longhouse, and meanwhile, several miles away, quite a bit underground, in an old dwarven ruin, we join the rest of the gang who've just stepped through these vast stone doors, or just opened these vast stone doors to reveal this altar bearing a statue of a veiled woman, with this moonlight symbol held in her hands. And knelt before the statue are these ghostly forms, flickering and indistinct, who seemingly knelt in prayer before this statue. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't think we should interrupt him. What do you think?
I sort of have to agree. But then again, what are they doing?
I don't see any tentacles or pools of glowing purple light, so we're probably safe in that regard.
Well, we could probably just ask them, right?
You want to ask the cultists what they're doing? I'm not sure that's wise.
We don't need to assume that they're cultists. I mean,
They look pretty culty.
we all have our gods.
I mean, if it looks like a badger and sounds like a badger.
It's probably a druid.
There you go.
We could always pretend we wanted to join the cult and figure out what they're doing. And if they're evil, take care of it.
Are they not like 10 feet away while we're talking about this?
Yeah, they don't seem to be reacting to you talking. You can see that their eyes are all fixed on this statue.
I do have one question, Torvald. Why is it every time we go somewhere it's dwarven ruins? Are there no dwarven cities that are like freshly... Okay, I understand.
It's a sore subject.
Well, I'm just gonna go ask them what they're doing and if I can join.
Torvald would like reach out to try to stop her.
Alright, so you're asking the nearest ghost.
So, what is this? It looks cool, and can I join?
You little arms.
Are you speaking in ghost?
Lady Knight.
Well, Lady Knight's pretty cool. I do like her.
So she may open the way
To
the land beyond.
Uh-huh. So why do we want to open the way to the land beyond? Are we gonna go? Things gonna
Yes.
come out? We're gonna go.
Yes. Leave this place and step through into the lands of the dead.
Oh,
Okay, but what if you didn't? What would happen?
We remain here.
I think they're just trapped souls.
So you're not evil?
You can't just ask them if they're evil.
Yeah,
Why not?
we are not evil.
That's a very good answer.
Are you ungood? That's the more
It's like
important
undead.
question.
Ungood.
Good is a relative term.
You obviously haven't met my relatives.
So that's a slight red flag. So the only thing you want to do is to open up this gateway and then go through it, and then the gateway closes, and then you're done.
Yes.
You're not going to try to drag people with you. Things are going to explode.
How did you all get
I
stuck here?
hope not.
How did you get stuck in the land of the living?
This place. We were trapped here. There are old spells here. Spells that bind the souls of the dead to this place.
Torvald, why are there always old spells in dwarven ruins?
You don't know. You got me
I'm
there.
I'm sensing a
simple
pattern. We don't
I
have
feel
these things
attacked.
in the forest, you know.
Hey, there's what elvish ruins you had in the forest with weird old spells in. Completely different.
When your race is as old as ours are, you know, there's some quirks that go with it.
So what do we get if we help you?
Treasure?
Okay, so we're going to new plan, help them get from here to there. So what do we need to do?
Open the way.
Froyo, you got any idea how to do that?
So you reach out to the consciousness of the trapped halfling in the ring.
Froyo.
Yes. Not really my area of expertise. I was more about the whole demons thing. Maybe I don't know. They seem to be fixated on the like glowing shrine. Maybe I don't know. Honestly, no, I don't know.
So, Adair, Torvald, Ira?
Aye, those are names.
She remembers us!
Roll call!
Roll call, make sure everyone is here. So we get treasure if we help them.
Well,
They told us we'd get treasure.
that's true.
They seem pretty reliable. Do I think they're lying?
Maybe an insight check.
I say clearly not, because I want to help them.
Is one of them wearing green? Because I get the feeling one of them's wearing green.
They're just all sort of indistinct and vague.
Faintly.
It's 12.
From looking at the map, they've got kind of a turquoise green tint to them, so that might be explaining some of this.
No, that's just my generic ghost token.
Yeah, sure it is. Okay.
That's not green enough. We're good.
It's hard to tell. This ghost seems more confused by the situation than secretive.
Well, I'm not too keen on having a portal to the afterlife being opened up. We don't know what'll come out.
Is anything gonna come out? Creepy ghosts?
I don't know.
The plan is to not have anything come out, right?
There wasn't really a plan. It's more we're just praying really hard in the hope that something would come along.
We have a friend who's good at praying really hard, actually.
And if we need someone who's versed in the dark arts, I mean, who better? I mean, if any of us were in league with something unusual, dark, and scary, aside from Chrysara, it would be Aldous.
Are you able to leave this place, or should we bring her here?
We are trapped here.
Oh,
That is the problem.
okay. We should go get Aldous then, I think, if we want the treasure.
Yeah. Just sort of glance at Adair.
Why are you looking at me? No. Oh, no. Crap. So, Adair will slink his shoulders and head back up out of the hole in the ground.
I mean, logical choice. He can turn into things. He's much
Okay, so
faster.
you head back up through the layers of this ruin, this tomb, up the hole into the giant camp, where you see Svanhild, Fritjof, the dwarf, whose name I've forgotten temporarily, Moffis, the two people from Raven's Rest, and the cow are hanging around waiting in this cave. You can hear, as you come up, the murmur of chatter of, maybe they're all dead. No, they can't be dead. Torvald's with them. If they die, he'd just bring them back. It's fine. They'll be fine. Oh, look, see? They're fine. Adair's back. Hi, Adair. Have you met Fritjof, my husband?
Huh. I'm glad to see you're still alive. Poor Torvald.
So yeah, you're back up in this cave. What are you doing, Adair? The people who aren't here.
Thinking I'd like to retcon something just a moment, that I asked Ira to write a quick note to Aldous, telling her to just come with whatever creature arrives. It's okay. Don't worry.
Done and done.
Excellent. And I am going to take on giant eagle form and fly back to Aldous with the note.
Okay, so we back over to Raven's Rest, where Aldous, you've just you're leading Venli towards the Great Hall when you hear this flapping of wings above you. And
Is there a statue? Because, never mind. Giant bird statue. Anyway. It's all right. Should have been a pigeon.
should have been a pigeon. Yeah, and you see this giant eagle in the sky above you. And there beneath you, you can see Aldous. And an unfamiliar figure walking towards the Great Hall.
I will gently circle to the ground and land nearby.
I am watching this eagle, trying to figure out what's going on.
And Venli looks at you and goes, that's not one of mine. Is that one of yours?
I don't know. It could be wild. I don't know any of the people here in this town really, so it could belong to any of them, or it could be a dare. Or is it a dare? Are you a dare?
And I will answer in Eaglese.
Squaw!
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think it's a dare. Do you need something, a dare?
Has Timmy fallen in the well?
Okay, for that I know how I'm delivering the note. So I will, having landed, tuck in my wings, walk over to Aldous and go and hawk up a note for her.
And I am going.
Up and
I could have done the Ace Ventura thing, you know. But you know.
Oh God, please don't. Please don't. I don't know what I saw in that movie as a kid. I am going to say, Adair, that was gross. And then I'm going to prestidigitation it clean, and then I will grab it and read it.
If eagles can smile, I smile.
I read the note. What does it say?
I'll have to ask Ira. She wrote it.
I don't know. What does it say?
Is it 3 pages long? Because I assume if Ira's writing a note.
Yes, I was thinking. So it'll say, "Hello, Aldous. Where do I begin?" So whenever we left the boat, we went, and it'll be an entire summary of everything that we've done up until this point, including phrases like, "I ran this way, and then that was the wrong way, and so I had to run back, and then there were giants, and then they expressed them." Then we found this cow, and we were like, well, should someone stay out with the cow? Should we put it back with the cow? I don't know what to do with the cow. It was behind a gate, so maybe we should leave it behind the gate, but maybe we should stay. Anyways, there are souls down here that are talking to gods of darkness, and they need to be brought to the land of the dead because they got trapped by dwarf magic. So we figured you knew best how to deal with that, and so we'd like you to come post haste right on Adair's back. It's very fun. I've done it before. Not in that way. For those of you at home. And
yeah, that was that was bareback. This is totally different.
Yes, exactly. I hope you've been having a good time. Please. I hope you've been having a good time on this ship. Excited to see you again.
I think we broke Tiss.
Goodbye. Safe travels. Godspeed. Love, Ira. XOXO. Your best friend forever. That's it.
I just want to know how darkness is written.
She probably italicized it.
Underline.
Yeah, that goes up and down.
All right.
Question mark, exclamation, question mark, exclamation.
Okay. At that point, I get to the end of the letter. Okay, and I go back to the High Priestess.
Yes. Yes.
Alright, we are actually in need of your help.
My help? Do you need some the brazier again?
No, you might actually want to come with us. I show her the letter, and however many pages it is, most of this isn't important. This is the part that is important, and she points out the part where they found the souls that are trapped, and that they're trying to. So basically, we need your assistance in helping to free those souls and send them on their way.
It's 5 pages double spaced. I wrote it in 5 minutes.
This is the dwarven ruin. These are not the souls of village. Are these the souls of village? It doesn't really seem to specify whether these are the souls of villagers or other people. I do have some experience banishing the dead, but I'm a little rusty. We've not had any problem with ghosts around here for a long while, and I have experienced the problem that they do run away, but they have a tendency to come back later.
Well, any experience is better than mine none.
Well, I don't mind.
We'll take the ship so that we don't have to burden Adair with all of us. You want to sit on the flying ship?
I don't mind. Look, I mean, I suppose I owe you and your companions this for, in return for the whole giant situation. I didn't really have enough funds to pay, so, all right, I'll come help you with this ghost matters. So, though, as I said, we tend not to mess with the ruins around here too much.
According to everything this letter says, there were dead things that were reanimated and all of that?
Yes, we tend to leave the ruins alone. Some of them are places sacred to Lord Grim and Lady Night, and others are just very dangerous.
Yeah, well, it looks like they managed to clear out most of those things, so...
Well, I will come with you. She looks around, then leans in a bit closer to you, Aldous, and goes, what about the elf?
The elf wants to talk to every one of my companions. I guess they can come along. I won't leave her unwatched.
Alright, I don't know what she wants. We don't tend to get many, Imperial agents out here.
No, she wants to write a contract with us about something. At one point, it was the war between Tilafen and the Empire. So it's got to be something related to that.
Yeah, I don't tend to get involved in politics outside of the 10-mile radius around Raven's Rest, if I'm being entirely honest. We keep ourselves to ourselves here.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anything you need?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but yes. And Vigdis climbs aboard your boat.
All right. I am going to sit in the chair of the boat, and I will have it. Adair, do you mind pointing us in the correct direction?
I'll pick up one talon and go.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You're leaving to find your friends?
Yes.
Would you like me to wait here? Would you like me to come with you, or would you like me to come back at a more convenient time? Like, I can come back tomorrow if today is inconvenient.
You can come with us.
Oh, splendid.
Have a seat somewhere.
Ah. She sits down on one of the benches. Quite impressed to see this in operation.
I sit in wherever that chair is. I don't know.
It's
about there. Look, I need to get a token that has a chair on it at some point. But
and then Sindri's on there somewhere.
Yeah,
hiding under a bench or something. Adair, please.
Sorry, I was trying to stay muted because the neighbors are running what sounds like yard equipment and a wood chipper outside. So I don't know if the mic's picking it up or not. It's quite loud. So
it's fine.
All right.
So Adair, please, and she will gesture in the direction that he pointed, but she's not sure where exactly. She'll lift the boat up off the ground, though.
Well,
but
sorry.
Yeah. No, you.
Still in eagle form, Adair will sit at the front, at the bow of the boat, and just kind of point the direction.
Alright, so the boat rises up and you head off, turning slightly northwards, and it's not going to take you long to reach the giant's encampment. But in all the time it took Adair to, fly down, the time it took for Aldous to read the letter, the time it took for them to fly back, Ira, Torvald, and Krasara, what are you doing as you wait for Adair to return?
I'm gonna keep talking to the ghosts. Just chatting.
Alright, as you talk to them, you notice that they have a tendency to repeat themselves a lot and sort of double back on bits of the conversation. They keep asking you, so, who are you again?
Are names important? I mean, what's in a name, really? I mean, does it really mean
Can you
anything?
help us?
Yes.
We're trying to get through to the other side. You see, we've been trapped here.
Yes,
Right.
we can. So
There's old spells in this place.
So, more about that treasure you were speaking of earlier. Where do you think that might be located?
Beyond us?
So one of you's gonna go in and get it and come back and give it to us and then leave?
And you see the ghost glance toward the doors across the chamber from you.
Oh, it's in there. In those
Yes,
doors.
but it is guarded by powerful magics, ghostly magics. Until you've helped us, you will not be able to take the treasure without suffering a dire curse.
Do I think they're telling the truth?
Maybe an insight check.
That is going to be 17.
No, the ghost's full of bullshit.
Torvald's just gonna kind of like walk in. Well then, you wouldn't mind if I go have a look then.
Oh, the curse is terrible.
Should we send one of them in first? You know, it's a ghost curse, so let it affect the ghost, not the dwarf.
Well, I can just protect myself from evil.
And he'll like wave his hands around, and you'll see some sparks, but he won't actually cast anything. He's just kind of like.
Do I know he's just goofing off? Or do I think he's actually casting a spell?
If you would like, Kasara, make me an insight check. Torvald, make me a deception check here. Just because
I'm not trying to fool
seeing-
Chris. I'm not trying to fool Krasara,
Yeah, I'm just curious if I would know.
but I'll roll anyway just for fun.
That's a 16.
A 9.
You can tell that this is not real magic.
Do you protect yourself from evil and pop in there and see how much treasure we get.
Aye, we'll see if it's worth helping you.
And Torvald will push the doors open.
There's this grinding of stone on stone as these old doors swing open to reveal.
Wait, what happened to Torvald?
Where is he?
That was awful.
No, I was trying to take the aura off.
No, he's dead.
Instant death.
Man, you didn't even get a saving throw. That sucks, dude.
It's a horrible curse. You do not mess with the deadly insta-death curse. And this small antechamber opens up in front of you. Of walls painted with, on one side with symbols of a woman surmounted by the moon, and on the other side by a man with a raven perched on each shoulder. And beyond is more stone doors.
I don't see any treasure in that door.
Nope.
Well, I don't see any treasure in there. Why are you lying to us?
Can you help us?
Can you pay us?
Yes. There is treasure beyond those doors.
I'll step in a little bit closer. Torvald, do you see any gold shinies, sparklies, anything?
And the next set of doors and the ones after that. You have to go like 2 doors, 3 doors through.
3 doors down?
3 doors down.
Well, that seems like a lot of work already. I'm not sure we want to do that.
They're
and
just
help
doors.
Well, they're not just statues in there. We've been attacked by everyone we've come across, so...
Those are to prevent tomb robbers.
Well, we're technically not tomb robbers since you're paying us.
Exactly. So once you have helped us, there should be no problem.
Torvald, you buying this?
Do I buy it?
I mean, they were definitely being shifty and lying about something. You can't pin down exactly like what part of what they said was true and what was false, but they were definitely. There was definitely a good, healthy dose of bullshit involving a curse.
I'm not sure if what they're doing is actually trying to get there or not, but pretty sure there's no curse.
So,
Alright.
why are you lying?
Can you help? We seek to reach the other side. We've been trapped here by dwarven magics.
Fire, are you awake?
Fire?
Can you burn ghosts?
Can I burn ghosts? I want to burn ghosts, please. And you feel this sort of hum of excitement from your maul as the fire elemental inside is woken up.
Just so you know, my friend here likes to burn things, so if you keep lying to us, he's definitely going to want to burn things down.
Make me an intimidation check, please, Krasara.
18, 19, 20, 21. Do I have anything else to add? 21.
Okay, we were lying about the curse. There is definitely treasure through 3 sets of doors, including the one you opened, and we do just want to get to the other side. But we didn't want you to run off with the treasure without helping us, so I pretended there was a curse. Isn't really a curse.
Alright, calm down.
Alright, well... We're
But
gonna
if you
go
try and
find
take the
that.
treasure, we will have to, like, kill you. Or do horrible ghost things to you.
You do know I have a fire elemental as my best friend, right?
Yes, but we've all died once.
And you can die again.
Well, it's gonna be a while till our friend gets here. We could at least have a look at the treasure.
Ira has been investigating the top left corner and not paying at all attention to what's going on, just so you know, whenever you want to handle that.
Okay, I think I'm now
She started to hear arguing and she was like, I'm gonna go check over there.
Actually, yeah, as this argument is going on, yeah, Ira, you found that it appears to be that the chambers beyond this point have collapsed in on themselves. Like the rubble has filled wherever this corridor was going. But as you head over there, you hear a muffled noise. It goes diddle-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum-dum. Diddle-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum-dum.
Check my bag.
And
Is it my bag or is it clearly behind the rocks?
from your bag, I presume you're not keeping the sending stone in the bag of holding, because I don't think it works in that.
I don't think so, no. That would just be in like a pocket. They're like this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it out.
As you take it out, it sort of buzzes into life. And you hear a frantic message. When I find what my frantic message was, that I possibly have made too long. Okay, I have got one. This is Baron de Larandir. Please listen closely. The elves took our ship last week and they've got the gift captive. They're looking for you, pretended to be on their side, managed to get one of the stones, but I don't know how long I can hide it. Over!
Oh. Okay, so it's my friend. The Gith have been captured by elves. And we have to be careful. And he has a stone. Right? That's
Yes.
the gist. Okay.
And you know that you can reply to this message.
Whew.
It essentially works sort of on rough... It's a roughly 25 words, give or take, depending on how fast you can get the words in.
So like 70 for Ira.
We are currently near the giants. What do you need us to do? Send.
There is no response.
Okay. I think that's normal. I'll wait.
There are
I'll
like
put it
three.
back
There are
on.
like 3 dots that start and then they go away, and then 3 dots that start and then they go away.
And then it's like, you have used your entire sending stone package until tomorrow. Would you like to message this number to like, to change your plan?
Message will be sent once you have more service.
But yes. Meanwhile, but other than that, this corner appears to be mostly just collapsed ruin and rubble. If you want to poke around a bit, you may.
Definitely.
I'd like to say, roll me an investigation check, please. As meanwhile, the Cloud Maiden manages to touch down on an area of quite soft and smooth grass this time round. You managed to find just down from the giant's cave, and as it touches down, a group of figures kind of hurrying towards you, and you recognise Svanhild, who you met before, and you also see a dwarf and 3 other humans who you don't recognise.
I got a 4, by the way.
Okay. Rocks. There's lots of rocks.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, have you come to take us back to town?
After we've finished doing anything, I'm going to disembark from the Cloud Maiden, and I will assist the priestess.
Vigdis strides down easily. I mean, she's probably an almost 7 foot tall half orc.
Oh, see, I didn't pay attention to that part. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's quite a tall, impressive looking half orc woman.
Okay. We are here to deal with a couple of things, and then we can all leave. Okay? Unless you guys want to walk back, it seemed clear.
No, we decided that the road back was potentially dangerous, so I'd wait till the others were back.
I pull out the letter that Ira wrote, and I flip through it to the part about the cow. So, there is a cow.
Yes, this is my cow, Daisy.
The cow will not fit with everybody on the ship.
What so? I'm sure she will. She's very well behaved.
That doesn't stop her from not fitting.
Well, you've got magic. Can you shrink the cow?
I cannot.
Well, I suppose we're walking back then.
Hopefully what happens here won't take so long, and we'll be able to catch up with you and assist you the rest of the way. But unfortunately, with the cow, we can't.
It's alright. If I die, Torvald will just fix me. He's great, isn't he?
He's fabulous.
I know. Like, no offense to Vigdis, but like, he is a way better priest. Like, the gods listen to him, they really do.
Well, it depends on the situation, in all honesty. I am certain that if the situation had been better for Victus, the gods would have listened to her too. But
Victus kind of goes, I believe we have horrible, spooky dwarven tombs to go into.
Yes. Yes. Adair, are you ready?
And I'll hop off of the edge of the ship and continue in eagle form.
Adair, would you like a ride? And she'll stick her arm out.
I think he's a giant eagle.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
And then she'll prop her arm up with her other arm.
Oh, takes off with her.
He will just kind of turn his head smugly away and walk towards the back of the cave.
So, Vigdis follows, sort of looking around warily at the shadows of the cave. And Venley, I realise I did not intend for 2V characters to be involved in this situation at once. This was... Venley sort of leans over and goes,
You're coming too, come on.
I didn't want to presume.
Sindri, can you stay with the boat?
Yes.
You'll get more fish when we return to the village.
Brilliant. Yes, definitely.
I'm going to let Vinley go ahead of me.
Alright. So following the lead of Adair the Eagle, you sort of clamber down this tunnel into these ruins, and Vigdis looks really quite comfortable to be here as she's peering round at sort of the rubble on the floor and the blood stains, and she generally just looks very uncomfortable. Meanwhile, Venley is sort of looking around with quite curiosity, poking things. You see her flip out what looks to be a small notebook. She starts scribbling things down. Oh, don't mind me. This is just a really fascinating example of dwarven architecture. You see that vaulting up there? It's amazing.
Yeah, we can always double check everything on our way back out.
Oh, I can keep up.
Our previous experience with ghosts and demons and such, we should probably go quickly.
Vigdis sort of visibly pales. He's like trifling with ghosts and demons. This is not why I came to Ravensworth.
You are not alone. As far as I can tell, everything is fine so far. You will not be required to follow us after we've dealt with the particular part you need.
Good. And Adair, I presume you're leading them down to where the others are and not into some horrible eagle trap.
I'm leading them exactly where they need to go.
Sorry, always good to check. To hell. It leads you down through dusty corridors. You can see sort of wreckage of smashed doors, hideous mangled pile of bones, and as you go further, patches of rubble. Definitely looks like there's been a fight going on down here.
I'm going to pause where we had our breakfast and wonderful chat for just a moment and reminisce before I carry him the rest of the way down.
Those were simpler times.
Yes.
Until, you arrive back down in this large chamber where Ira appears to be rifling through rocks, and you can hear the sound of either a discussion or argument about treasure going on.
Hello, we're here.
There's your help.
Can we have our treasure now?
We, can you free us from this place? We have been trapped here by ancient dwarven magic. Who are you?
I'm Chrisora, and I want to get paid.
There is treasure 3 doors that way.
So 3 doors down is the
But
treasure.
It has a terrible dwarven curse on it.
You already told us you were lying about that.
Oh.
Okay. So I brought Victus with us, and she's a high priestess of Lord Grimm.
Just priestess. Perhaps, to be honest, low priestess is probably a better description. Like, minor priestess.
And the look on Aldis's face falls because she thought she was higher than she actually was. Okay.
Right.
We are here to help.
You read my note.
Yes, we read your note. I am going to go over to Ira first and say, keep an eye on that person. And I'm going to discreetly gesture at the elf that followed us in.
Yeah, she's currently poking a nearby statue. Kind of looking left and right at it, and you can...
Aldis. Is that person an elf?
Mm-hmm.
I've been told that we should be wary of elves through my sending stone.
Yeah, it's kind of fishy that they were able to teleport to us.
Yeah, they've captured the gift.
Oh, fuck. Sorry. She says that she has some discussions with us and she wants to borrow the wand.
I'm gonna knock her out, I think. I'll go talk to her and I might knock her out. Is that okay?
Sure.
Perfect. Take care of these ghost people. They've said the same thing to us like 5 times. I actually kind of got tired of it and I went and investigated the corner.
At least 10 times now.
I'll go
Look
talk
at
to
these
the elf.
rocks.
Okay. And on that point, I will go with Victus over here and I will help as needed.
And Victus, you see Victus sort of lean around and peering into the glowing room and go, yeah, you've definitely got ghosts there. Alright, are we banishing them, or...?
No, we're helping them.
Oh.
I told you that. They wanted, in the letter, Ira, and I just...
I only skim-read it, if I'm being honest. My comment's not that great.
Well, I told you we needed to help the ghosts, the souls that were trapped, to move on, not to vanish them.
Well, I can try.
That's why I asked if you needed anything.
Well, I can try a bit of a prayer.
Okay.
We're never getting our treasure, are we?
Well, let me just, she starts rummaging around her bag. Let me just get some incense and things out. We can try a bit of a prayer to the gods and see if that helps matters. Yes, let's just do it out here. I think it's nice out here.
It's less probable to work if further distance.
Well, the ghosts might interfere with the prayer if we get too near them.
Has she already set out the incense and everything?
Not yet, because she's starting to reach into her bag for them.
Okay. I'm gonna let her start to put everything out.
Alright, and she's gonna settle down over here, just sort of a little circle of incense. As she's doing that, Ira, you said you were heading over to the elf, to Venley.
Yes.
Oh, hello. Sorry, didn't see you there for a moment. You must be Ira Stratus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did Aldous tell you my name?
She. Oh, this. Not exactly. No.
Great. How did you know my name?
Oh, I've been gathering information on all of you for some time. I've got a bit of a dossier going.
Okay. That's kind of cool. Are you writing a book about us?
Maybe I should. I think I've always got enough material. But no, not exactly.
Okay.
I've been trying to figure out who you all are and where you all suddenly sprung from.
What's the reason for that, if not for a book?
Well, I already mentioned it to your young friend over there, but I'm trying to set up a sort of working partnership between you and me. I believe we could be of great use to each other.
What do you have to offer?
Magic, resources, years of experience, and well, is that not enough? Plus my own self, of course. I've been told I could be quite delightful in the right circumstances.
We do already have all of those things, actually.
Really?
Yes. I think we've all got quite a bit of experience in our own crafts and areas. We're all pretty strong. We've managed quite a few feats, as you may have noticed in your research.
I
about
have,
us.
yes.
So what exactly do you offer that's different from what we already have?
Well, I am a wizard.
Okay.
And I don't wish to sound immodest, but I have quite considerable talents in the areas of magic. Should you need to travel places, move or people or objects around the world in the blink of an eye, if there's anyone out there you want to meet, get in contact with, I can bring you to them or them to you in a matter of hours, possibly.
That's wonderful. Well, as you may know in your research, 4 out of 5 of us are also magic users, and we have a flying ship.
Yes, you do. But I'm sure there's things lacking that you wish you could do, or you wish we could just do
Not
with
really.
a few thousand gold or a large diamond. I can get my hands on those sort of things really easily.
We've also gotten our hands on those things pretty easily ourselves, actually. So, we kind of.
You don't trust me, do you?
Not that I don't trust you. I just don't really think we need an extra member on our team.
Oh no! I'm not trying to join your team. I have got quite a lot of other stuff to be getting on with. I was more thinking of a point of contact, a benefactor, sponsor, a assistant, maybe. That's not quite the right word. Benefactor. Let's go with benefactor.
And what caused your interest with us in the first place?
Well, you actually first sprang to my interest when rumours started filtering in of strange goings on up out north in Isfjell. With bits of strange flying ships and all that. So I asked people to listen out and if anyone heard anything about what was going on, and then lo and behold, you spring up in, of all places, Bonebrook. And, well, once I heard about the ship and its capabilities and everything else, I had to investigate further. And then you got involved in Telefen, of all places. Now, Telefen holds a special place in my heart. You see, whilst I am currently in the employ of the Empire, Telefen was my homeland for many years. And when
So you're employed by the Empire?
For the time being, yes.
So what benefit do we have to you exactly, as being a benefactor?
I wish, once you have gathered a few more pieces, to borrow that glass wand of yours, that weapon. Just for a day.
No.
No?
Nothing.
You're very quick to the no there.
Yes, it's a no.
Not even going to give me a chance to explain what I want to do with it.
No.
No.
You're welcome to ask the other party members, but I'm currently the one who's holding the pieces, and my answer is no. So good luck.
Interesting. Well, I hope that this time I can perhaps, win you round on this matter a bit.
Well, you'll have to talk to the others, but my answer is no.
Well, thank you for your honesty in that matter.
I am nothing if not
come across
honest.
someone who speaks their mind. Yes, but I could be. Look, I could be of great help to you personally, Ira. I have resources and contacts all across this continent and beyond. In every port and harbour.
As do I. And at this point, Ira will turn away. She doesn't want to have this conversation anymore.
Okay. So meanwhile, you can hear Vigdis murmuring her prayer to the gods. Of the four of you, what are you up to?
I am listening to her prayer to discern if it's actually a good prayer for what's needed. And I am going to move into the room with the spirits and start reciting the same prayer.
Alright, so you can catch a few of... It's a prayer in a mixture of common and a language you don't understand. But would recognise... Or at least I don't think you understand it, but would recognise as Orcish. But the bits you catch are like... help these souls pass on to the other side. Please open a way. Take the ghosts away. Look, Lord Grim, I'm asking you really nicely here. I will offer you a great sacrifice. I just don't have anything on me right now, but I have heard there's a cow about. So.
Okay. In that case, I take back what I say about going back into the room, and I'm going to actually stand there. I'm going to say, so from what I understand, you will do a sacrifice in the future.
Yes.
But they would need a sacrifice now.
Well, I don't have a cow right now.
It doesn't have to be a cow.
don't see any other animals around here, and I know what people say about Drathvi and my people, but we don't actually go in for the whole human sacrifice thing. Or dwarf sacrifice.
Okay, first, actually bring it in there so that they know that you are doing this for them. Because part of it is their belief as well. So,
Fine.
and I'm going to help her take her incense, and I'll bring it in, and I'll set it up right there in between Torvald and Chrysara at the back, facing the ghosts. I'll spread the incense out. I'll light it, and then I'm going to say, what you need to do, you can start your prayer, but when it comes to the sacrifice part, use your own blood if you have to. And I'm going to slice my hand open a little bit with the dagger that I have, and I'm going to sprinkle it across on the incense as well, and then light the incense, and then I'm going to just start praying to Lord Grimm.
All right, so Victor seems to be following your lead now, and you're starting to get the impression that she's not particularly experienced in these matters, that most of her priestly life has possibly involved dealing with village problems.
So she's not actually a priestess of Lord Grimm, like
she is. She's just also a priestess of other things, and, you know, mostly does, you know, funerals, not christenings, naming ceremonies and marriages, like, for a very small village in the middle of nowhere.
She got her license online.
Yeah. But yeah, as this is going on, Chrysara and Torvald, Aldous seems to be handling the prayer thing. Ira is off talking to the elf lady. What are the two of you up to?
So, do they hear the prayer? Like the ghosts, are they responding to it at all?
The ghosts are not. We'll get to what the prayer's doing in the moment. This is as Aldous was doing all that setting up and.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Torvald's gonna just be waiting and just longingly looking into the door where the treasure is, just like the little puppy, like.
Should we go ahead and track down and make sure it's actually there?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Torvald will take a step and see if the ghosts react at all.
The ghost's attention seems to be currently on this prayer ceremony that's going on, and the general efforts to get them to the other side.
I'll take another little step. Just literally sideways, inching his way in.
Nothing catches fire, nothing explodes.
And then he steps in.
All good.
He's gonna kind of look at the statues and see if there's anything interesting there.
It's more just wall paintings in this room rather than statues.
Oh, okay.
Much safer.
He will go up and he'll push on these other doors then.
Stone grinds on stone again, and you see this large chamber opening out. The walls more richly decorated in here with brighter coloured paintings, of swirling images of a great battle going on and people feasting and drinking. And the room is lit by this soft, eerie glow coming from braziers placed at each corner that, despite the fact that this place, until you open the door, looked like it hadn't been disturbed for a long time, that there are flames burning in these braziers. And seated between them on two stone thrones are a pair of skeletons.
Seeing that, Torvald's gonna let the door kind of close, and then kind of take a step back into the room. And he's gonna be like, put his hands behind his back, like looking around, like, what to do?
All right. And before we get to the conclusion of the prayer, Cressara, was there anything you were up to?
No. I'm probably just watching Torvald to see if he sees any gold shinies that he may need help carrying.
Okay. So, Aldous, I would like you to make me a charisma plus religion roll. So roll me your charisma, and if you have proficiency in religion, add your proficiency bonus to it.
I do not have a proficiency in religion. So just charisma?
Just charisma.
That is a 9
9 total?
total.
So for now, like you say these words as the prayer is going on. Actually, let me just make a... You do have help from Vigdis, so I will let you roll a second time. Vigdis is not being totally useless. But yeah.
That's
at first
10.
nothing seems to be happening. Like you say this prayer, you say the words, blood on the incense, and the ghosts are sort of watching you with intent, but nothing about the altar, or about the room, or about the ghosts seems to have changed.
I'm going to look at the ghost nearest me and say, do you have anything personal here of yours?
What?
A scrap of clothing, maybe some hair, something that means something to you.
Our bones.
Where?
Mine lie in the chamber beyond. Others.
Which way was he pointing? Can you indicate?
He points past Torvald. Sorry. He points past Torvald. Where you see an open door and now closing again door.
Oh, okay. So, it looks like this isn't going to work until we have something of yours to sacrifice to Lord Grimm and Lady Night and every god of death to let you move forward. So we have to go get that piece. Can I assume that there are bones from all of you? And I gesture at all of the ghosts in the room.
One of them nods and go, yes, and the others go, I died over that way, past the serpent room. It was an unfortunate accident.
Okay.
But, yeah, the others, I think actually probably would have came down through that way, so you did pass a couple of skeletons on the way in.
Okay.
Lying around.
All right. Well, and I'm saying, of course, I'm saying all of this out loud so that everybody can hear. All right. We will come back to this after we have bones from everyone. And I get up and I put what incense hasn't been burned, probably a lot of it, and set it off to the side so that it doesn't get spilled, but we don't have to repack it.
I can't remember what is the I can't remember what the is that. I just want to check, is Adair still an eagle?
Yes, and I was going to say I'm keeping an eagle eye on our elf friend that is not unconscious. Way to knock her out, Ira.
All right. Yeah. So Aldous is going on a bone hunt.
Who wants to go with me?
I'll go with you.
Okay. It looks like we need to get some bones from beyond this point, and we need to get some bones from before we get to this point. So let's go get the easy bones first, because I think there's going to be some issues getting bones that way.
Right, let's carry bones.
I will pick up a bone from every pile that I see as I walk past them. I don't care how many piles there are.
Okay, so you head through and you sort of gather the bones from the room that you passed through on the way. Nothing happens. You're able to pick up as much of a skeleton as you reasonably can carry. If you make multiple trips, you can bring armfuls of bones. It's up to you.
Now, I just want to pick up one bone from every corpse that I see.
Okay.
That way I can, if there are spirits still locked in here that are not directly in that room, they also can leave as well.
Yeah, you only find the 2 skeletons that direction, and there's the 2 sat on the thrones in the other direction.
Oh, okay. In that case, I will leave the 2 bones.
There is a corpse pile upstairs. If the others tell you about it, but that's
walked past it.
Different. Not the corpse pile. That was a bit of a detour if you went to view the corpse pile.
It was in the letter.
Yeah, so you do know there is a massive pile of corpses upstairs. If you would like to go and...
Yeah,
some of them are bones. Most of those are more body parts and intact corpses.
Ugh. Okay, it needs to happen to purge the place of any and all spirits that may be inhabiting it. We've got to get a bone from everybody. And Vignis, you're coming with us. Come on.
Okay, so Vignis heads off with you upstairs, and you follow around through these dusty corridors till you find this end chamber with this pile of corpses. And Vignis looks at it in absolute horror and goes, That's Orm and Katla and these are the villagers the giants took. These are my people. We're not just, taking their bones and throwing them on some ancient dwarven sacrifice pile. I need to take them and dispose of them properly.
Well, if that's the case, then you are free to do so after we've dealt with the spirits that are trapped here and now. We will set them up near the exit, and then we can take them with us when we leave.
Right, yes, but looks like someone's already stolen some armor off this one. Sort of looks over you like,
well,
you got an arm?
I think that was definitely not me. I definitely did not have an arm and asked if anyone needed a hand.
All right. Well, at that point, we will set those bodies properly so that they are ready to leave with us, so that they can be properly released. And then I will continue gathering bones from long set corpses.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back.
I was going to say, apart from those ones lying around in that chamber below, there aren't
any others?
And the corpse heap. Apart from that, this is quite a tidy tomb. The bones are presumably in the sarcophagi, which are most appear to be sealed up and closed.
Okay. I won't touch the ones that are in the sarcophagi because they have already received a proper burial. Right? So
yeah.
Only the ones that have just been laying around.
Okay, so you gather the bones from the 4 sets of lying around bones. I say, whilst Aldous is off, with Vigdis and Krasara, collecting bones. The elf lady's still scribbling away in her notebook about something. Torvald, Ira, and the eagle. Is there anything you wanted to be doing, or are you helping on the bone hunt?
So Adair has made it clear that he's keeping an eye on the elf, correct? Like if I look over, like it's very clear you're keeping an eye on her.
Yep. Absolutely.
Great. Ira is going to go to the area where we found the like cave drawing of where all of the parts of the wand are supposedly, and she's gonna do whatever she can to fuck it up.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
Yeah. Probably with like a rock and like scratch it out.
Yeah.
And she's gonna make sure that she's not followed. She'll make eyes with the dare and be like, I'm gonna go.
With the talon.
Nice.
The elf makes no attempt to follow you, and heading upstairs, you are able to return to the picnic chamber where you've had where there was this mural on the wall.
yeah, and she'll just pick up a nearby rock and just scratch out as much of it as she can.
Yeah, you're able to. I mean, it's old and slightly crumbling anyway, but yeah, you're able to essentially disturb and erase most of this drawing.
And before I do that, someone wrote it down, right? I think it was Chrisara. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Cool. It has been desecrated, and then I'll head back.
Okay. So by this time, the bones have been gathered up.
Except for the ones that were in the other room.
Okay, so half the bones have been gathered up.
Right, because we didn't know what was going to happen if we went past. I'm going to set the bones that we have gathered up in the room with all the ghosts. And then I'm going to say, all right, there's more this way, correct? To the ghosts.
Yes, my bones lie beyond. Will you help us pass beyond this world?
Yes.
We have been trapped here by ancient dwarven magic.
Yes. And I will walk through that door.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens in this room?
Yeah, it's a big, empty room, apart from beautifully decorated walls, braziers, and two skeletons sat on thrones.
Are they already lit braziers?
Yes.
That's iffy. Nobody was in there before.
If Aldous walks in, Torvald would follow her.
And the only other thing you notice is, another set of doors on the end of the room, the third set of doors.
I am going to take one of the hands of this one right here. I'll take one of the hand bones.
Okay.
And then I will go to the other one and do the same.
Okay.
And then I'll go back out and throw it on the pile. And I will, first I will take a little bit of tinder that I have to start a fire, and then I will place the bones on that gently, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with the incense that we have, and then I'm going to, again, make my hands start bleeding again a little bit and sprinkle it on there, and then I will start praying again.
Okay. I would like you to take 1 point of damage, actually.
That is fine.
And I think you can handle 1 point. 1 point of damage, and make me another charisma check. See if you've managed to get through to anyone.
That time I rolled an 18 plus 4, so that's a 22.
Okay. So Aldous is busy praying again. By now, the elf lady has wandered over to stand beside the eagle. So, look, over. This seems a very inconvenient form for underground, if I'm being honest. Are you trying to avoid talking to me?
And will just kind of turn my head and ire while contemplating pecking her eye out, but I'm not going to do it yet. I seem to have a tendency to do that lately. I think I need to pick other than bird forms. I don't know why that comes to my
eyeballs.
mind. I don't know why that comes to my mind.
But yeah, so Ira returns from her defacing ancient cave paintings. And unless anyone else has anything immediate they want to do, we'll come to the end of Aldous' prayer, unless anyone wanted to poke anything in the meantime.
No, just kind of
No?
standing around to see what happens.
Okay. So, Aldous, this time as you're speaking, you can feel the air is growing colder, and the rest of you can feel this too, as the air drops colder and colder. You can see this frost starting to form on the ground now. And there's your hair fluttering slightly in a breeze. It seems to be blowing from somewhere. And you watch the glow of the statue is getting dimmer and dimmer. As the glow starts to fade, you notice it's almost as though it's doing the opposite of glowing. Now it seems to be sucking in the light around it and plunging you into darkness as this darkness gathers around the statue. And then, like, all of you feel this chill run through you as there is the most horrendous ripping sound, this tearing noise. Like, it was like bones crunching, the sound of things being torn apart. And the very air in front of the statue where this shrine is, it's sort of torn apart, and you watch as this jagged gap opens up in the air, and one of the ghosts shout out into the light and goes running forwards through the gap and disappears. And then another. And they racing forwards off into the darkness beyond. And the ghosts are gone. But the crack remains. This rip and tear in the air, and you can feel the air blowing through from whatever lies on the other side.
Okay.
We close it now, right?
At that point, I am going to, in my prayer, I am going to change it. Instead of continuing on with let it open, let these ghosts pass through, I will instead say thank you. Thank you for receiving these spirits. Thank you for listening. The passageway is no longer needed now, and we appreciate everything, and the sacrifice has been received, and we wish well upon these spirits, upon ourselves, and upon the gods.
And the chill fades slightly, and the breeze drops ever so slightly. But the rip remains.
Well, that was what we were worried about, so...
Does it need another sacrifice to close it?
Maybe?
I'm not sure. Logan, would you like to go too?
Do you think there's demons on the other side? You hear the nervous voice of the ghost wizard that's been haunting you.
Well, I can't know for sure, but it's up to you. It's your choice.
Do we all hear Logan's voice?
Yeah. But there's definitely demons on this side. So, I mean, there's definitely a demon on this side. There might be a demon on the other side. Definite demon, maybe demon, definite demon.
You can always stick your head through to see, but it is supposed to be the gateway into the realm of the dead and the kingdom of Lord Grimm and Lady Knight.
They're probably free of demons.
Probably.
Right. And you see this flickering form appear before you, this skinny young wizard dressed in robes, who sort of glances nervously around and takes a step towards this dark hole in reality, and then whoosh, he's gone in an instant as he draws near it, just almost like he was being pulled through by something on the other side. And Logan is gone. Now you only have one wizard haunting your party.
At this point, I am going to say aloud, so that it actually echoes off of the rooms around me. And I'm going to say, if there be any spirits here that remain that wish to leave, now is your opportunity.
No one replies.
And I will wait for a few more minutes, and then I will start to pray again, wishing that the pathway close, and that I thank the gods for opening this portal.
Alright, so as you're deep in prayer, Venley, the elf, wanders over into the room, looks around. See her sort of give a nod over to Torvald, who she's not really spoken to yet, and goes, was that supposed to happen?
Well, some of it, yes. We'd hope that a portal wouldn't stay open, but you never know with these types of things.
They have a kind of tendency of sticking around once you make a portal, you see.
Well, you could close it for us.
Oh, it's not really my area of expertise, to be honest, portals. But,
And
yes.
you are?
Oh, sorry, we've not been introduced. Venley Sylvareth. A pleasure to meet you, Torvald.
Aye, it is.
But, yes, it's specifically forbidden in the codes of wizardry where I'm from to even attempt to make portals like this. Yeah. As I said, you end up with a portal, and then next thing you know, you've got to spend the rest of your eternity keeping an eye on a portal you've created, and it's awfully faffy. Ask the druids. One druid wants to chat to the Fae, and next thing you know, they've got a magic pond.
Torvald glances over at Adair.
Awkward silence sort of stretches into this.
No, Aldous is praying.
Apart from Aldous' prayer.
I am going to elbow what's her name again? Vigdis. Sorry. I'm going to elbow her to make sure she's praying too.
She looks really quite shocked and in awe of you. Like, you just opened a portal to the afterlife, and now it won't go away. Lord Grim, please, please, please. But yeah, it does not appear to be going anywhere.
As a druid, since apparently we have some portal experience, does any of this ring a bell to me of anything that could possibly be done? Like a large needle and thread or spackle,
I mean, You can make me an Arcana or Religion check if you've got either of those. Or General Intelligence. Otherwise.
I have none of those three, so I'll happily roll it. They all come out the same.
Okay.
Yeah, they all come about the same. That's a 9. So sorry, folks.
As far as you know, I mean, you definitely know that she is very much likely talking about the portal to the Fae at Tiath Nara, which is still there from last time you checked. You don't know a great deal about how it was made and why it's there, but you do know that the druids either haven't tried to close it or haven't succeeded in closing it. Well,
Aldous
you-
is still
yeah.
praying.
Aldous appears to be still praying.
Still praying.
So Torvald will just kind of he's gonna take his shield out and his axe or hammer, I guess now, and he's gonna just kind of stand ready next to her just in case something decides it wants to pop out before she's done praying. He's just gonna wait and see if it's gonna work.
Okay, well, as prayers are being said and people are waiting for horrible monstrosities to crawl through from the other side, why would they ever do that? It's just a hole in reality. They're fine. You don't need to worry about that. I think we're just gonna go for a quick 10-minute break. And
All right. We'll be back in 10 minutes. I wasn't even watching the screen, so I didn't know. We're live.
Good morning.
Here, I'm coming. I'm here. Hello.
Tis, you are muted, by the way.
Wow, we're doing really good.
We're already live.
yeah, I was very quickly trying to shove food in my face.
Me too.
On mute. Forgot to unmute. See, this is what happens when we manage to get the intro almost right. It's the return from break. Chaos. We can have one or the other. So, yes, our heroes are underground in an old dwarven tomb with a local minor priestess of Lord Grimm and a strange elf wizard and a rip in reality that leads through to the realm of the dead. And Aldous, as you sort of pray onwards and onwards, you don't feel like there's any answer.
Okay. Is it getting even at all smaller?
No.
Okay. At that point, I am going to continue to pray. But I am going to start digging into my bag. And I am going to pull out one needle. And I'm going to pull out a skein of yarn. And I am going to thread some of that yarn onto that needle. I am going to take the ashes of the incense and the bones, and I'm going to coat the needle and the yarn, and I'm going to turn to the minor priestess and say, "Bless this, please."
May the blessings of Lord Grimm lie upon your thread and your needle.
Did it work?
It doesn't seem to have
Possible?
done anything. It just looks like a needle and thread still.
I am going to prick my thumb with the needle and put my blood on the needle. I am going to walk up to the portal and I am going to attempt to stitch the portal closed,
Okay.
unraveling the yarn as I do so.
Yeah. As you step forward towards the portal, as we're calling it, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please, Aldous.
an 8.
You watch as Eldest steps forward towards this portal, holding this needle and thread, and then she takes another step and she is gone.
Guys, I think we lost. Is this a good time to panic? Because I think we lost an Aldous.
I am going to grab, if I can, the elf person in front of me, and using eagle, whatever low flight I can achieve in here, I'm going after Aldous with the elf.
Okay. You can. Okay. Just gonna see if she has. Oop, lost that die. Yeah, no, she does not have a chance to realise what's coming. You hear a shriek, and those of you who understand Elvish hear a few Elvish swear words as the eagle and the elf disappear into darkness.
We need to, oh, shit. And I'm just gonna go through. That's it. I'm going through. I'm charging through.
I've been dead before. Off I go. Come on, Torvald. Into the land of the dead.
That's excellent.
And the land of the dead. Thunderer, protect me. And I will actually cast protection from good and evil on myself. And I go towards the portal.
Seems appropriate.
And I will.
Victus is just staring at you, at all of you, with disbelief in her eyes as Torvald steps through the portal. Okay. One sec.
Bet you didn't expect that to happen, Tis.
Yeah. I think we
The rest
I'm
of the
sorry, did
session
I
is
break your
theater of the
concentration?
One sec.
Give us back our Aldous.
Aldous. You have this sort of moment of lapse in concentration. 1 minute, you know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to stitch up the hole in reality. And then the next minute, you are standing alone in this vast clearing in a forest. The grass beneath your feet is this sort of washed out grey colour. You're just stirring back and forth in the breeze as all the trees off in the distance. The sky above you is this steady clouded over grey. There's no stars, there's no moon, it's just this slight ever-present glow from the sky. And the air is cold, it's more than cold, it's just empty. You can feel it sort of leeching away, the sort of hope draining from you. This place is empty and desolate.
I am going to put the needle and yarn into my pocket, stabbing the needle through the ball of yarn so it's not lost and so it doesn't stab me later, and put that away. And I am just going to look around to see if I can see if the portal's behind me, or if there is a direction the light may be coming from.
You can't. There's no real daylight shining from everywhere. As you look around, I want you to roll me a D5, D10. D5 does not exist.
So about to say what?
I was thinking of a number.
Take a D4 and glue a coin to the bottom of it or something.
That's a 6.
Okay. So, as you look around, it's just empty and quiet. Apart from this soft sobbing sound you can hear, it seems to be coming from close to the tree line. This almost like a child just lost and lonely, sobbing its heart out.
Can I see the child? You said
No,
it's
you can
coming from the...
coming from nearer the tree line, off in, well, a direction. Like, as you look around at the trees, every time you're not sure if every time you look around if they're the same trees. Like, the place doesn't
I am
seem
going
entirely
to
stable.
sit down. Right where I'm at, I'm going to sit down. And I am going to wait.
And then you hear a sound above the sobbing. You hear an angry stream of swearing and the flapping of wings as Adair the eagle and the elf just appear in midair above you.
Oh, above me? I was going to say appear somewhere. I was going to set some sparks so that they could see me. But if they are above me, that won't happen.
Yeah, they are above you. They can see you. And I'll actually give you an eagle token since you're committed to this whole.
I shift back and just jump in.
situation. It's probably the wrong kind of eagle, but this is the kind of eagle you got.
No, that is the correct. That's always the right eagle.
I'll see it.
If you could put a little red, white, and blue ribbon around it with stars on it, that would be awesome.
I was more thinking of the cool eagles, like, golden eagles. But no, it's the weird white-headed eagles. But yeah, this eagle, which I believe is a large creature.
I
and
am
elf.
going to look up at the eagle and the elf, assuming they're still in the sky. I'm
Well,
going to say,
that's the choice of the eagle.
are you still in the sky or are you landed?
I am. Now let me roll and see what happens to the elf. No, I've still got the elf.
Hey, it is entirely up to you what you want to do with this elf.
Are you actually a dare?
Do I spot Aldous? Do I spy on Aldous with my eagle eye? Okay.
Yes. She is
I will
alone in this vast clearing.
I will dive down towards her and then at the last moment swoop up. Drop the elf about 5 feet to the ground and then land.
Thank you. I didn't know if anybody would follow, but I chose to wait here until somebody showed up.
I did not follow voluntarily.
At least you followed.
Okay.
We'll find a way out of here soon. I am guessing everybody else is following behind you shortly. I look at Adair.
And shrugs his wings.
And it's moments later that in whichever order they step through, which I have forgotten.
I jumped in after.
Yeah. The other three. It's not so much that it appears like you were looking in their directions. You look away, they're not there. You look back, they're there. Just 1 minute they weren't, now they are. No loud bang, no sparkles, just they are there. You're standing in this clearing, this cold, empty place.
Okay, I am going to stand up because I was still seated. I heard crying this way, and I try to figure out where I heard the crying from.
That way.
I suppose we should check it out.
It's that or head in the opposite direction and potentially meet up with it anyway.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's I'm gonna start walking towards where I heard the crying.
Okay.
I'm assuming everybody follows.
Get my freaking token.
We all made it through, not falling.
You weren't in the sky,
Oh,
so you
okay.
don't have any falling to worry about.
Gotcha. Okay.
I would like
I was
to.
like,
Sorry.
I was to say I didn't know where the portal was. I was worried I was going to be falling. I went through it.
No. I mean,
Don't worry, I might consider rescuing you if I saw you in time.
Wow. You might.
Try not to fall too fast.
alright, so you're walking towards the tree line. It doesn't seem to be getting much closer. As you walk, the trees, they just don't seem to be getting any nearer at all.
Do I seem to be getting farther away from the people, from the rest of the group?
Well, I think they said they were following you, so...
Okay, so does it look like I'm actually moving from where I was originally?
It's hard to tell. Like, your legs are definitely moving. You can definitely feel yourself walking over the grass. It's just that the tree line doesn't seem to be drawing any closer. But the sobbing is getting louder.
Oh, well, if the sobbing's getting louder, I'm gonna continue to move forward. Even if the tree line's not getting closer.
And as the sobbing grows steadily louder, are the rest of you still following Aldous?
I would like to go up about 50 feet and then kind of circle around the group 100 feet out and then maybe a little bit more if I need to. Just kind of see what I can see, the direction we're
Alright.
headed.
Make me a perception check, please.
And using eyes.
Eyes?
I can't talk today. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Is that why you've turned into an eagle?
Yes. That's a 22. Gosh, I'm going mute now.
Okay, so you can see this clearing, this that the others are walking through, and you can see beyond it this grey-green forest canopy stretching out into the distance. But beyond that, you can see the jagged peaks of mountains rising up, and you can see out there light. You see this bright white light shining off in the distance, and you can hear sounds of things moving in the forest, and not in the same direction of the light, but off in the distance you see this shadowy form, this gargantuan shadowy shape sort of striding across the land. It's hard to tell in this distance. The perspective here seems sort of warped, but it's possibly taller than the mountains themselves, this great shadowy shape off in the distance.
Does it look friendly?
No,
Okay, good.
gonna be honest, nothing about this place feels friendly.
I would like to fly back, land in front of Aldous and everybody with my wings out to stop them, and just kind of...
Then I will stop.
And I point in the direction that I think I saw the big giant evil, scary thing.
Do we need to go that way or do we not need to go that way?
Shake my head. No, that way. No.
Well, where's the sobbing coming from?
Am I the only one that heard it? Or do they hear it now too?
Yeah.
You can hear it. It seems to be coming from very close to you now.
Same direction as where Eagle pointed, or?
No, not quite. Not really. Off in a slightly different direction. But you can hear a rustling in the tree line now. Sound of something moving.
Torvald will turn towards it, just kind of like hold up his weapon and shield and kind of brace himself.
And Adele, as you finish your sweep around, as you have, returned back down to the group, and as Torvald raises his shield, you watch as from the direction that the sobbing was coming from, a figure steps out of the tree line. This grey shape, sort of walking jerkily towards you, letting out this pitiful, sobbing, moaning cry. And you can see it's got these sort of strange, staggered long spikes in place of its arms. And it seems to be dragging and lurching its way towards you. Well,
I'm going to
that doesn't look friendly.
Nope.
No.
So that does not look pleasant.
No, do you have a plan?
Well, usually we'd fight it.
Well, yes.
Maybe we should see what it wants first. Why is it crying?
Because it wants to eat us?
It's reaching out towards you. It holding out these deformed spike-tipped arms towards you. Is it?
I don't like hugs. Thank you.
Please.
What?
Please.
Please what?
So lonely.
Okay, well,
Stay with me.
if you
Please.
just stop right there. We can be
Please.
friends, just don't come any closer. We'll talk to you.
Please.
Do you,
Torvald will step up.
Need you.
He'll step up and kind of like stand in front of everyone.
what's your favorite color?
I'm so lonely. Colour. What's colour?
What, what's your favorite thing to do?
I am going to use prestidigitation and send a rainbow of color of sparks.
He watches these grey sparks flicker in the air.
Oh. That makes me sad. That makes me sad. Those were supposed to be all the colors.
We notice that we don't have color too. Or?
You currently do, but it doesn't seem as bright as it did before.
Well, the purple. There's purple in my hair. That's a color.
Want.
No. Bad. No. Stop.
Please.
Just no. You're getting too close. You quit.
Wait.
Torvald,
Where are we?
Torvald's gonna
You
step
are
up.
here.
That's not. descriptive. Here, where is here? Is what she means.
The glade. The glade of new arrivals.
How do we get back?
No one leaves. You stay here with us.
That's a good sign.
Oh! It turns to Torvald, who's near it now, and sort of holds out his arms.
Don't come
Torvald.
any closer.
Oh, Torvald, and
He'll hold a.
I need you
an
to make a
attack.
wisdom saving throw, please, Torvald.
Does this creature always look like this, or does it seem like they've deformed into this while being here? Is that a roll I can make?
It's you don't really know what this is, and it's hard to tell.
11.
11. So as you step nearer this creature, you feel like a little of the hope and life sort of being drained away from you, and
Emo Torvald.
you lose. You take 10 points of psychic damage.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on. I'm holding on.
He's got something brilliant that's gonna protect us all.
Well, I have protection from good and evil.
Yeah.
I have advantage against being charmed, frightened, or possessed.
You are not being charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Okay.
What else does it do? It might help you out here. I don't know what it.
Oh, it says It says I have advantage on saving throw against the relevant effect. I don't know if that's just those or what.
I think it's just if it's.
And they also have disadvantage on attack rolls. So I don't know if you were doing attack rolls, but.
That was not an attack roll, but.
Okay. So 10 psychic damage then.
I think that's what I said. Protection from good and evil, evil and good. It's. It doesn't matter anyway.
Okay.
From the disadvantage point of view, because that specifies particular creature types.
Oh, gotcha.
And yeah, so Torvald, as you feel sort of the hope and life being leached out at you, how do you feel about this?
Torvald would attack it.
Okay,
If it got close at all.
I'm gonna let you get one attack in, and then it's initiative.
Okay.
Because
Torvald will. He's gonna take a swing, and as he takes a swing with his weapon, you just see it like light up with electricity as he attempts to slam his magical hammer into its face. This is going to be awful because my strength is terrible. That's going to be an 8. An 8 to hit.
an 8 does not hit.
Okay.
So yeah, Torvald takes a swing at this thing, and you just go, but I want to be friends. Just friends. Stay with me. Give me your life.
I think I'll be keeping my life, thank you.
And you watch as Venli starts to raise her hand towards the creature, and it almost is in slow motion as anyone who is feeling hostile towards this thing that's trying to sap the life from Torvald may roll initiative.
Oh my god, this die is going away. I rolled a 2.
Ooh, is that 2 total?
I
2
rolled a
total for initiative.
5. Well, Four.
That's funny because I rolled a 2.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I've not got room at the bottom of the whiteboard for all of you. Hang on, I'm going to have to move the others up. I put them low down because I thought, not many people are going to roll lower than a 6. So that's a 4 for Aldis, a 2 for Torvald, and a dare. Do you have any preference about who goes first?
It was a 5 because of my initiatives +1.
I don't have any preference.
My
guess
dex
I'll go
modifier is
first.
0. What's yours?
It's entirely up to you.
-1, so go ahead. You go first.
Ira, 11. We've broken the 10 barrier.
I go second to the last. That's what that means,
Why
not
are we
first. Second to the
awful?
last.
Yeah, right.
And Chrysara.
I am
Okay.
at 16.
Yeah, so Chrysara, you see Torvald taking a swing and seeming to miss this creature, this being. You are the fastest of the draw here. You are the quickest. What would you like to do? And Ira, you'll be next.
Okay, well, freaky stick child thing is freaky, and I am going to rage, and I'm going to charge at it with my maul to try to knock it away from Torvald. So, take roll.
Oh, I would have had a +2 on my saving throw. I don't know if that would have mattered.
That would have taken it up to
13.
Proficiency. So that's 16, 17,
Everyone
18.
gets 3 temporary hit points too, by the way.
Yep, I keep.
Oh, you're raging.
I am raging.
Alright.
17, 18, 19. That is a 19 to hit.
That will hit. And as this rage fills you up, you hear a sound off in the distance in the forest. You hear this angry roar off away in the distance.
12. So that is 12 points of damage. And then my second attack. 12, 13, 14, 15. There's a 15 to hit.
15 will not hit, I'm afraid. Sorry to say.
Could you tell which direction the roar came from?
Behind Chrysara. Off in the forest in that direction.
Okay, so south on the map. Gotcha.
Yeah, south on the map.
There. Okay, and that is it for this turn.
Okay.
Why do I have a red dot? That concerns me greatly.
That's to remind me that you're angry.
You're raging.
Okay.
Raging Cajun.
Shouldn't it be a big green dot then?
Ew.
We get a temporary hit points. We'll apply those. Okay, that makes me feel better. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
also,
sorry, I feel like-
it's probably better because the red I use usually to mark if things are bloodied.
Okay.
Yeah, is that everything, Chrysara? In which case, Ira! What would you like to do about the situation? As good seem to have got into a fight with spiky hands.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt it. I feel bad, but if everyone else is hurting it, then I feel peer pressured.
I'm just imagining like the feel of the rusty spoons against my salad.
Why would you bring salad fingers into this?
Would you be my friend?
Salad fingers.
All right, well, now I am gonna attack it, I guess.
Use your nettles.
Ugh, okay.
I just want friends.
Y'all are exhausting. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll just strike at it. I'll kind of go between Chrysara and Torvald, and slash specifically at its arms. Its arms seem to be kind of the scariest part of it, so I'll try to cut one off.
Bits.
And that's a 27 to hit.
27 will definitely hit.
Cool. That's good. That'll be 10 slashing and 4 radiant. 14 total.
Oh, no, 10 slashing, 4 radiant.
And then she'll slice at it again. There's another 27.
That will hit.
Good dice today. Good dice.
Yes, very good dice.
Oh, never mind. Bad dice. That'll be 6 slashing. And 3 radiant.
6 slashing and 3 radiant. So that's another 9. Okay. And is that
turn?
Everything you want to do?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, as Chrysara and Ira, charging in to help Torvald with this thing, Venli glances to Eldest on one side, then glances over to the eagle there on the other side, and just you see her just give a. Here we go. Was not prepared for this. And starts muttering under her breath, and sort of watches she weaving her hands in the air as she focuses on the creature. I don't think if she actually has anything useful she can do on her prepared spell list. Best I can do. And she snaps her fingers, and the creature goes still. You watch it. It's sort of its arms. It was reaching out for Torvald. Sort of gets stopped in midair, so it's being held by an invisible force. It's just straining against something you can't see. And as it pushes and strains against it, no, for now, it seems to be held in place. And you see Vinegar, yeah, I've got it for now. I don't know how long I can hold it for. I'll hold it still. You just, keep hitting it. That seems to be what you do. And I have no idea what this thing is, and how long I can keep it here for. But right, yeah, you go. And it would be Aldous' turn, so I'll just put her on hold for a moment. And is it alright if we skip on to Adair and then Torvald, and then we'll do Aldous when she returns?
Okay.
Sounds good.
I will take to the air. I would like to grab the creature by the head or whatever, and go my max height with it, which is 70 feet, and then drop it.
Ooh. Okay.
So is that like a grapple roll? Get hold of it, or?
Yes. And I think you got advantage on this due to its current status.
Okay, does my nat 20 count? It'll be a 23.
You
rolled a 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
I decided not to roll the other dice if it's with advantage, because I figured the nat 20 is not going to get any better.
I don't think you're going to get any better than a natural 20.
So if I remember correctly, for falling damage, it's a d6 per 10 feet. So that'll be 7d6.
I think so.
Right?
It returns.
That is 23 damage. Bludgeoning,
23.
I assume. Yeah.
As there's this thing, whatever it is, plummets down from the sky and oof, hits the ground again. You hear it let out this muffled mewling sound, although it still seems unable to move its arms or legs, as under the effects of Venli's spell. And sorry, what was the number again? You said?
Pardon me, 23.
23. Yeah. And yes, Aldous, that'll be your turn. Venli seems to be concentrating on keeping this creature held still, and Adair's just dropped it out the sky.
Okay. In that case, I am going to Eldritch Blast at it. Yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds like I suppose a reasonable thing to do.
So the first one was a 17 plus 4, so that's a 21. The second one was a natural 20 plus 4, so that's a 24.
Yes, and yes.
All right. That doesn't do anything, or does that doubles the attack, right?
The dice.
Roll twice the number of dice, so roll 2d10s rather than 1d10
for each.
No, just for the one that's the critical.
One was just for the crit.
Yeah, just for the crit.
Okay. So that's an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
19?
19.
Yep.
10. Yes, 19. That's 19 force damage.
Is that total? For both the attacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, this creature is looking even sadder than it did before. It really looks rather sad to start with.
The only thing we're doing is breaking its heart? Is that what you're telling us?
And also breaking it. You can see one of its point-ended arms is like at an even weirder angle than it was before. Like it seems to be attempting to pull itself up from the ground where it's just been dropped out the sky. Torvald, what do you want to do to this poor, suffering creature?
So as it's restrained on the ground after falling...
It's paralysed on the ground after falling, yes.
Torvald's
You've got advantage to hit it.
Yeah, Torvald's going to take his hammer. He's going to swing it around and kind of hold it almost like a golf club and just swing as hard as he can. And we're going to hope I can actually hit with a melee attack for once. All right. That's a 21 to hit.
That'll hit, yeah.
All right. All right, so it's going to be 8 lightning damage, and it's going to be 4 magical bludgeoning damage, and as I smack it, you just see this jolt of electricity, and it's going to just shoot it 10 feet as he does his nice little golf follow-through, and kind of leaves the hammer behind his back there for a second.
And you hear a slight whimper. This creature gets hurtled through the air.
And then, I think that's fine for Torvald's turn there.
All right, which takes us back round to Chrysaura's turn.
She almost feels bad for hitting it because it keeps crying, but technically you attacked us first, so you kind of had this coming. And
like we have a problem attacking other things first.
And I am going to use my bonus action and yell my command word to wake up my maul so it will burst into flame. And we get 40-foot bright light and then an additional 40 foot of dim light.
Alright, so light blossoms up around you.
And I'm going to charge it and attempt to hit it with my massive chunky boy d20. It's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 19 to hit.
Should have advantage too.
Do I have advantage?
I think it's still prone.
It's paralyzed.
And it's paralyzed.
Prone.
So just roll an extra one in case you crit.
No, well, that's a 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's a dirty 21. So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
As opposed to the natural 21.
It's a dirty 21. So that is.
So to a clean 21 on my 21-sided dice. I keep it next to my 5-sided dice.
Look, those videos don't belong on this channel. Those videos do not belong on this channel.
The dirty dice one?
The dirty dice? Okay, I did 16 points of damage, and 3 of those are fire.
16 points of damage. Okay.
And then I get attack number 2 at advantage.
Yep.
He's still prone. 17, 18, 19, 20. It is a dirty 20 to hit.
That will hit, yes. Yeah, that'll hit.
I will come back around with my flaming maul. 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 points of damage, and 5 of those are fire damage.
Okay, so you hear a last desperate wail from this creature as it shatters into tiny little smouldering pieces. And then you hear the roar again from behind you. And you see as this figure comes charging out of the tree line, yelling and roaring loudly. Like, you can always see this flicker shadow of flame around it. But it doesn't actually appear to be burning. You see its arms end in hooks. It's snarling and roaring, and it comes charging directly out towards Krasara.
I'm doomed.
And Ira, it's your turn.
Cool. Well, I'll go ahead and go fight this boy. This boy seems a little more intimidating than the last one, so I'll actually really like it. So she'll charge forward, and once again, it seems like the arms are kind of the scariest part, so kind of going for the arms to try to amputate. Let's see, that is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, the 19, that'll
You were
hit.
gonna say no. I'm like, oh gosh, we're in trouble.
Ooh, nice. Okay, and then I am going to smite. Let's check my spell slots out, shall we? At 2nd level. Dice time, dice time. I love D&D. I love doing math.
We all do.
Sure. So that's 12 slashing. Okay, you've got 12 slashing with 5 radiant. And then...
Anything else?
Yep, I'm smiting. Hold on.
Okay, alright.
Ooh. That die is gone.
2.
And let me find another die.
Got one of those special dice that calls out the number it rolled. I like it.
Yeah.
No. Thank you.
Ah, the hands!
Dang.
The hands from
Those are
beyond
second
reach
rolls.
for you.
That smite was that was the enemy trying to grab at me. Dang. And then just 8 more radiant damage. Got 2 2s and a 4.
Okay.
Tragic. Cool. That'll be attack number 1. And then attack number 2. is a 21. The dirty 21s, obviously, right? Because that's what we're.
Yep. None of those clean, tidy ones. Yeah, the 21 will definitely hit. Yeah.
Perfect. And then that'll be 6 slashing and 6 radiant, 12 damage total.
Okay.
And that'll be that. I won't smite on that one.
And Venli swivels round. You hear her muttering some more really terrible swear words in Elvish. She's another one. Okay. Same trick as before. It worked last time. Shit. As she weaves this net in the air with her hands and casts it out towards the creature, but it doesn't seem to do anything. And that will bring us to Aldous' turn.
She's going to turn to face the new creature that showed up, and she's going to also Eldritch Blast that beastie.
Sounds like the appropriate reaction.
12 plus. I was wrong earlier. It wasn't +4, it was +7. So 12 plus 7, that's 19. And a 17 plus 7, that gives us 24.
Yep, both of those will hit.
So that's a 10 plus 7, so plus 4 each. So it's a 14 plus 11, that's 25.
Okay. Definite hit out of this thing. But mostly what it seems to have achieved is made it even angrier. You see the rage bubbling up within it. And is that everything, Aldous?
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything else. I will prepare to step backwards if it starts to come towards me, but other than that, nothing else.
Okay, Adair, it is your turn.
Being 70 feet in the air and 5, 10, 15 feet away from it on a diagonal, do I need to measure down and over or at an angle as to whether I can make it to this person in time?
How high up did you say you were again?
70 feet.
How far can the eagle move?
80.
Hang on.
I'll start a swoop and have to continue it next time.
I cannot be bothered to swoop for Pythagoras. Yes, you can do it.
Okay. I would honestly come up a little short doing the math. I'm just asking the DM and being, honest and fair.
No,
so.
I'm...
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to swoop in and attack with beak and talons. And I assume an 18, does that hit or not?
It does, actually, yes.
Oh, well, then I'm really happy because then the 21 will hit also. So.
Yes.
I hope, unless I got too high for the armor class,
No, I'm not doing that yet. I'm waiting for that until you least expect it.
Oh, Lord. Okay, I need a new set of D6s because that really sucks. That's going to be 4 piercing from the beak and 7 slashing from the talons.
Okay.
I need new D6s.
You probably do, yes.
DM's floor is just covered in dice. He just steps on him. He's like,
I actually have a dice vacuum now that I set them all up in. Nice. So that's the torture.
Oh, what I want to get is just like like a resin set floor. It's just got abandoned dice just all trapped in this floor. But yes, I believe that takes us round to Torvald's turn.
All right. Torvald will. He's gonna step up, and he's gonna take another swing with his hammer here.
Okay.
It's gonna be an 11 to hit.
That will not hit, I'm afraid.
All right. In that case, he's gonna scoot around behind Ira to try to like reposition himself down at the bottom there, and that will be the turn.
Okay. Which brings us back round to Chrysara. This angry hook-handed thing is yelling and rushing towards you. Your friends are attacking it. What would you like to do?
I am going to charge this bad boys with my maul and attempt to hit it on any piece of it I can hit. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. It's a 15 to hit.
15 will not hit, I'm afraid.
Okay, attack number 2. Ooh, okay, that's better. That's 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 25.
That'll hit.
Sweet. 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 24. 24 points of damage, and 6 of those are fire damage.
Okay. And is that your turn?
That is everything.
Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, ip, dip, do. The creature angrily lashes out with its claws for Chrysara and the eagle next to her. So for Chrysara,
Can I create a disadvantage with my shield, please?
yes you can, which cancels out its advantage, so that will miss and not be a critical hit.
Nice!
Why did it have advantage?
Because it's angry.
Oh, reckless. Gotcha. Barbarian.
Oh boy.
And well, not quite reckless. It's its own ability here. It's a god, and it lashes out towards Adair. That'll be a 16 to hit.
That is a hit.
Ooh, I need different. Don't get to use these very often. That will be 17 points of piercing damage as this claw scrapes through feathers.
All right.
And that will be its turn. Oh, hang on, no. You also take, for, oh, that was an abysmal roll, 6 points of psychic damage.
Very good.
And that will be its turn. But that brings us round to Ira's turn.
Okay, oh. I do. Oh, I'm just gonna keep hitting it. I strike at him once more. 10. 10 hit.
10 does not hit. No.
10 doesn't
No.
hit.
No.
How about a 19?
Yes.
Great, and we'll smite. Once more. But not once anymore after. And we'll do math. So 8 +5, 13 slashing, and 3 radiant. And then an extra 10 radiant on top of that.
Okay. Creature, you see the anger in its eyes, like this snarling mouth full of teeth. As it growls something under its where you hear, burn, fire. Where is Olwen?
Where is who?
Olwen, give me back my daughter.
Oh, for the love of it. Cusses in Primordial. Are you trying to copy me?
And Aldous, it'll just be your turn whilst I just try and check something on Vernley's spell list, because when I introduced the wizard I did not expect you to get the wizard into a fight.
Aha!
Sorry, not sorry.
And she is a really useless wizard.
It's my
Based
turn.
on the spell list. Yes,
said?
it is your turn.
I think at this point I'm going to change my tactics and say, I am assuming we are in the realm of the dead, so I am going to cast Sacred Flame on the hook hand beast, and that is a dex save of 15.
That is unfortunately a 16 on its dexterity there.
Okay.
Does it have any effect on a
Hold on, I don't use it very often.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with it.
Seed. It doesn't say if anything happens on a save.
Okay, so I presume not then. If it doesn't say. And as you're doing this, you watch as Venley once again sort of weaving her hands through the air, muttering her spell. And let's see. As these dark tendrils lash out towards the creature from her hands, about half of them seem to miss it entirely, where it shrugs them off, but some of them latch on, and you can almost see this cold wash of deathly energy pulse away from the creature, and then the tendrils drain away and are gone. And Adair, that will be your turn.
Adair's going to take this moment for a bonus action, and he is going to change shape into a brown bear. Hopefully from just slightly above the creature so that he falls down on top of it.
Drop that.
It's very Maui of you.
I thought you might like that.
You're welcome. On a side note, I just threw 2 d20s down, just like rolled them randomly, and they're both nat 20s. So I ruined those dice.
You wasted them.
I did that in a game that last night, had an advantage on it and rolled 2 20s, and I'm like, well, that really sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wasted.
Yep, just wasted. So as I fall slightly down onto him,
You've got control of the token,
whatever.
so...
Oh, okay, cool. I'm going to try and bite and claw as I fall.
Okay. Roll me those attacks.
I'm going to assume the 9 misses, and if it doesn't, it should. How about the 19?
The 19 will hit, yes.
Awesome. That is great news, and if I had my dice ready, it'd be even better news. That is going to be 11 slashing damage.
Okay. Yeah, you could. It's definitely taking damage, but it doesn't seem bothered to have noticed it or be bothered by it. It more just seems to be generally really angry at something. And Torvald, it's your turn as you hear this creature growling and something about Olwen and giving your daughter back.
Is this thing copying you, Cressora? Or is this the Winter King?
Well, the Winter King was her brother, not her father. So it's either copying me or it's her father?
As Torvald said that, he's gonna call down a bolt of lightning next to its head and told that
7.
it's a 7. Okay, it's gonna be 11 necrotic damage.
Okay.
How effective does said damage look?
Seems to be normally effective,
Okay, good.
as far as you can tell.
I was worried about that. All right. That's
I
gonna
get
be
the
it.
sense that this thing might not actually be dead.
It's just a creature. Interesting. Has any of the stuff we've done seemed more effective than anything else?
Not so far. No.
All right. That's the turn.
Oh, is that everything?
Yep.
Okay. And that brings us round to Cressara. This thing is, one huck bloodied with eagle blood, growling in your direction.
Okay. So,
Where is my daughter? You took my daughter. I want her back. I'll kill you.
I'd like to see you try. Olwen is my daughter. I don't know who you think you are. As I attempt my reckless attack, which that makes it a nat 20 without anything added to it yet.
So double the dice.
Okay, yeah, screw with my kid. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
6,
You try mess with her.
16, so 6.
I'll show you. You touch Owen and I'll give my maul. I'd love to burn you.
Okay, so it's officially copying us, and that's 30 points of damage
Oof.
for attack 1.
Okay. Tide is turning here.
How much did you add to the end of your roll?
To which roll? The first
dice.
roll was just a nat 20. I didn't add anything.
No, I meant the damage dice.
I doubled both of them. And then I had my own things to add to it. The +3 and then the +2 from the rage. I mean, if it should be more.
I was just double checking.
I'll roll more.
I think you get a +4, +2, so I think it's +6 at the end of everything, but
Okay.
I do it.
It's
It's not a big deal.
No, it was a +5, so I think I added it. I think we're good, but I'll double check with you later. So that is 18. That's a 19 to hit.
that'll hit.
That's 16 points of damage. 4 of those are fire.
Okay.
And then you get to hit again because you crit.
Oh yes, you get.
I'll have to add that to my note card. So
I'm starting to feel sorry for this one as well. Actually, to be honest, like this seems an unreasonable amount of attacks.
No, it doesn't. It's great. That is a 19.
That'll hit. Still hits.
And then I'll swing them all and bring it around on top of its head. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18 points of damage, and 4 of those are fire damage.
Okay. Yeah, this thing, it's barely holding itself together now. You see this angry mass of bloody tatters of flesh, but still very angry. And you see as the claws lash out, both to Krasara this time. It seems to have a very definite target in mind. That is 25 on the first one.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And a crit on the second one.
That'll hit.
So, as this thing is barely holding itself together, lashing out blindly and angrily with these hooks, that is... Oh, shit.
Now I'm concerned.
21. Oh. Okay, that's a bit better. 24. 32.
Stop that.
38.
Stop that. That's uncomfortably high.
40.
It did crit you.
It did. 46.
If it's bludgeoning, piercing, slashing,
That is 56 points of piercing damage.
That. Please tell me that's one of the things I have resistance against.
It is.
It is.
Oh, thank God. So is that halved?
Yes.
Okay.
The piercing damage is halved.
That's 25.
Plus 6, 8, 10, 16, plus 30 points of psychic damage. It was rolling a lot of dice, and it critted, I'm sorry.
Oh, my. Yep, so I'm leaning on my maul for support because I'm on one knee. Breathing very, very heavily. And bleeding.
Okay. Shows you.
Doesn't show me shit.
Ira, it's your turn.
Well, seeing Krasara go down to one knee stresses me out as a barbarian. So I will kind of stand, I'll plant my shield between Krasara and I and the creature, and I will cast let's see, Cure Wounds at... Actually, no, I'll just do Lay on Hands for now. And I will do Lay on Hands for 30. So I'll plant the shield, and then I'll kind of get down on a knee as well and join Krasara and say, hey, you okay?
Not quite. Little... Yeah, that one got me a little bit.
Oh, well, here's what I can do for now.
Thank you.
Right. And that'll be, let's see, probably my turn, I'd say.
Okay. And you watch as Venley's once again weaving her hands through the air, and you watch as black necrotic tendrils lash out towards the creature. Aldous, it's your turn. What's the last roll? Some dice.
So considering the whole light sacred flame didn't work, I'm gonna go back to the Eldritch Blast. $17 and 6 plus 7, that's 13.
Neither of those will hit, I'm afraid.
All right.
A dare. A bear. No longer in midair.
I should put that. Adhere the bear no longer in midair. That would work. Anyway, so at this point, I'm trying to make sure I understand the situation here. Ira does not have her shield in hand, so her defenses would be down. Krasara, how are you? Are you back on your feet, or are you still looking pretty bloodied?
I still technically have it in hand. It was more for dramatic effect of I'm shielding both of us. It's planted in the ground, but it's still in my hand, and I've put a hand on her shoulder as I join her on her knee.
I'm going to hold my action, and if it makes any movement towards Krasara or Ira, then I will do a melee attack.
Okay.
Basically taking a defensive posture for those two.
In which case, the invisible dwarf. Oh no.
Invisible dwarf?
You faded into your background.
Oh.
Torvald, it's your... He's gone again. There he goes.
It's magic. Alright, so Torvald is going to he's gonna basically he's gonna swing his hammer kind of close, but it's basically just gonna get close to his head, and then this pulse of energy is gonna explode as he tolls the dead right next to its face there. 4. That passes.
Oh, Torvald.
It's a 9 necrotic damage.
Okay. This creature, it slumps down to one knee, sort of almost a mirror of Krasara's pose. It's sort of braced against the ground, really looking ragged and at its very limit now. Is that everything, Torvald?
That's everything.
And Krasara, it's your turn.
Alright. It's time to finish this thing once and for all. And I'm going to attempt to hit it. Okay. That's a 13.
No.
Attack number 2. Come on, don't let me down, please. Oh god. That's a 15.
No.
Okay, so yeah, as I get up and attempt to attack him, I guess I'm still so injured that I miss both attacks.
Okay, and the creature raises its hook to lash out once more towards Krasara and Ira and Adair. You were holding your action.
Yep, so if it comes in, I'm going to
It's
go at
definitely
it.
going in.
Then I'm going at it with Bite and Claw. And I'm assuming let's see, that's a 17. Does that hit?
No.
Okay. Then the other one is a 23, so I think it
Yes.
will. So I hope that one hits. If not, I'm in trouble. Oh. And that will be 9 slashing damage. And 1 new
That
dice.
is enough. So as this
Well, you can
creature
come back
lunges forwards with these hucks towards Krasara, this sort of bear leaps on it from behind, and what is it? The last sort of pulpy shreds that were barely holding themselves together collapse down, smolt, and sort of spontaneously burst into fire, and then drift away in flakes of ash. And whatever it was, it's dead.
Thank you. All of you.
Okay, so the next thing we come across, we have to get information from somehow.
Well, I think I have a fairly good idea of where we are, at least.
Okay.
See, when you said the realm of the dead, I wasn't sure if that was some northern thing. But this I believe is a land my people call the Fell. You know how, like, there's our world and then there's the Fae that lies alongside it, and it's all full of Fae nonsense. Well, this is the other one of the three. So it's like the Fae, but sort of worse? Better? It doesn't have Fae in it, at least.
Worse? Probably worse.
Definitely worse.
Yes.
At least the Fae have dance parties.
I don't think, from what the stories say, that there's any dance parties here. It's in the stories I heard. It is the realm of desperate, lonely, horrible monsters, and it's ruled over by the queen of shadows and darkness and death, the veiled queen. Kind of a bit of an elven horror story, really. She supposedly, like, haunts the shadows and will steal away naughty elven children in the night. But some elves have in the past have had dealings with the Fae, so some elves have had dealings with this realm in the past. My people have a long history of meddling with things they probably shouldn't have done. But I have good news.
There's a way out.
There's a way out. In fact, there's two ways out. So first of all, they said, you're not the first people to open a doorway to this place. So there are a couple of existing doorways out there that, in a city commonly referred to as Dead Man's Port, but more properly known as Verandra. It's a popular spot for people who meddle with the sorts of magic one shouldn't really meddle with. But, so it's possible to get there. Or, now, just throwing it out here, I can get us out of here. I have a spell.
And you didn't use it before because you're a jerk?
I wasn't entirely sure where we were, and wanted to be sure of it. Didn't want to waste it. It's quite a commitment of resources.
And
now
where will we end up if you end up using a spell?
Oh, back in the material world, the world between the worlds.
Where?
Oh, sorry. Back where we came from.
I'd love to be living in the material world. Because I'm
Definitely a material girl.
Oh, well, splendid.
So is there a way to close the portal then?
Oh, not that I know of, no. Again, not my area of expertise. You would have to talk to some properly knowledgeable scholars on that.
Which means that we will probably have to make the ruins more ruined.
Yes, I mean, what do people normally do when they've opened a dreadful portal? They just put up lots of warning signs and traps and hope that no one gets past them. I mean, if you go past, like, 5 warning signs that say, proceed no further, horrible hell portal.
That doesn't always work. That doesn't always work. But we do need to get back.
Yes, I can get you back. But there's a price.
And what would that be?
The deal I was discussing discussing with Aldous. Oh, which was an allegiance of sorts between you and I. And did I get to borrow your little magic wand, your little crystal wand?
No. I have a better idea. I have a direct line of connection with the Mist King, and how about I call him and get us, GTFO? I'm going to do that because we're not taking your deal.
No discussion even. Well, you are a decisive bunch of people. Well, in that case, I shall take my leave.
Toodaloo.
It's been a pleasure meeting some of you. I'm sorry, Adair, we didn't get to talk more.
I am going to look at Ira and Chrisara, and I am going to look at the fact, the vote. And I am going to say, no, you should stick around with us. We could probably think of maybe a different compromise. And I'm going to loop arms with her.
Is that a threat, miss?
I think she's propositioning you.
She's a little young for me, I'm afraid. I'm rather older than I look.
Nobody would want you. You're disgusting.
That's not a nice thing to say about all this.
Oh.
That is a very unkind thing to say, actually.
I'm from the north. We're not nice. So am I summoning my king, or...
That's also an unkind thing to say, you know.
Different north. Different north.
Lots of planets have a north. I wouldn't count on the help of your king here.
No, I've done a lot for him. I fully expect he would.
No, I meant I wouldn't count on his help here.
She only has that gesture with one hand because I have my arm looped in hers.
And you're also insane if you don't think that he'll send a messenger after us.
No, what I'm saying is that his messengers will not come here. The Fae do not like this place.
Now I have something that he wants.
So you told us that there was a way out of here that didn't require your teleportation.
Yeah, there is.
How? Where?
Why should I tell you?
Adair growls menacingly.
She smiles. I'm not scared of you, you know that, right?
Adair walks over behind her and stands on his hind legs and towers over her and growls.
No, still not scared. Now, I'm hoping we could reach a what's the word? A peaceful conclusion here. But, I must warn you, I did say I am a wizard. And I've got, more magic in my little finger than the rest of you put together.
Can I just go hit her really hard on the head with my shield, please?
I think at this point, I think I can see a lot of twitching towards fighting. So yeah, you can take a couple of steps forwards towards her, and then I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh god, I'm gonna die.
And I want to bite her finger off. Because then I'll have the power.
Yeah, you should do it quickly.
Oh,
Yeah, how quick you are.
Just to let you know how well my rolls are going to go, there's my initiative. That's a 1. That's a 1.
No.
Mine's a 4.
Come on. please.
Mine was a 10.
That's respectable.
18.
Thank you, Ira.
I'm gonna knock her
Sarah has
out.
advantage, so at least there's that.
Mine's a 20.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank God for advantage.
So yes, Chrysara, you see everyone sort of hands moving to weapon, people, bears looking hungrily at fingers, wizards starting to twist their fingers in disturbing patterns, but you have that instinct, that moment to act.
I'm gonna charge and tackle her to the ground and attempt to pin her.
Okay. In that case, make me an athletics check, please.
Gladly, because I have a +7.
Yes. Let's see.
Are you raging too?
I think. Am I still raging?
How long does the rage last?
Well, you have to do it every round. I mean, you could rage again, but you might not be anymore.
So there was a definite gap between. So you lost your
If
rage
she wasn't-
before.
If she wasn't fighting or getting hurt, you
No.
lose rage.
Yeah. So the rage would be gone.
Okay, that's still a 19.
I don't know how.
Unless I get to add my strength bonus to it.
Oh no, 19 is enough. She is a slippery wizard, but she's not. Not quite slippery enough.
I put my knee on her and
That's because she turned all this
Hold
down.
hold her hands. No,
Far
ma'am.
too young.
I don't like
just
you.
Like
You
a
are not
50-year-old
sleeping.
elf.
Trust me, you're disgusting. No one wants you. It's okay.
She's
I
obviously
just
not
feel
one of
this is
them.
unnecessarily rude.
Well,
Like,
you
are you?
didn't get mad.
Did you take a couple of levels in Bard, and this is vicious mockery now? Or
I would not be
Maybe I
surprised.
should.
But yeah, you have her grappled down to the ground.
And I mean, Chrysara's big and weighs quite a lot, so she's not getting up.
Yeah, no, she's not. But Ira, Chrysara's got this wizard down on the ground.
Fantastic. I guess this will be improv. We can decide how we want to do this. But technically speaking, what I want to do is I want to walk and continue taking steps forward. And I'll say, Chrysara, could you move your arm for just a little bit? And she'll take her shield and just right on her head to knock her out.
Well, you can certainly try. You got advantage.
Excellent. What is the roll for that? Just an attack?
It's an attack roll with advantage.
Okay. Hello, cat. Okay. And what am I adding to this attack roll?
You've got proficiency. Add your proficiency. You've got proficiency in shields. I'll let you for now. Oh,
Excellent.
Your cat is hiding you from view.
Whoa. Wow, you can't see me. That'll be a 16 then.
16. Yeah, she's not wearing any armor. Well, not that you can see.
The goal is to knock her out.
But what's the damage on that?
Ooh, I don't know. What are the stats for a shield?
Oh, good point.
Let me find out.
I hadn't. Sorry. Just let's say a D8 for now, and we'll, fix it later if shield bashing becomes a regular occurrence.
Shield bashing. Oh. A D8 then.
Yes. Plus your strength.
Nice.
Okay.
So that'll be an 8 then.
Yeah. It's almost like some of the force was absorbed by this. There was this sparkle in the air around her.
Ugh.
So it doesn't manage to completely block your attack, but she's not knocked out. You can see she's taken a bit of damage, but she is quite a long way from unconscious. And she looks up at you and gives the ever so sort of briefest of a smile, and then disappears out from Krasara's grasp, and reappears. Hang on, let me check my distances. Reappears 30 feet away in a whoosh. Smiles, holds out her hand towards Krasara, and you watch as this bolt, not ball, important distinction, this bolt of fire flashes through the air towards Krasara.
I was gonna say that would not be good for us right
No.
now.
No, bolt is a cantrip, and she was not prepared to set fire to things today. But I don't think that is actually going to hit. Oh, that's a 17. Krasara.
I am a 17.
Oh, in which case, that will hit. So very... As I said, I did not expect you to bring this woman with you. I did not expect you to get into a fight with her.
Yes.
We try to be, what's the word?
Diplomatic.
Unpredictable?
Dramatic, but I mean, she was trying to extort you.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Right.
much so.
Let me just grab my d10s. Aldous, you'll be up next, by the way, so just
How many d10s?
more than one.
I'm hearing
Okay.
a couple.
It's my
With a
turn
shot.
right now.
10. Yep,
Or-
12. Let me just finish adding. 20. That is 24 points of fire damage, Krasara.
Please tell me I get some sort of resistance.
It's fire.
It's fire.
No, because I think you're on ice at the moment with your
I am.
barbarianness.
I am a tundra. Yeah, so that's gonna hit me and spin me around, and I'm gonna fall to the ground. But I'm still gonna swear at her in primordial.
So, are you unconscious?
No,
No. Okay.
not yet.
My turn.
Yes, your turn, Aldous.
I am going to glare at her, and I am going to I'm going to say I'm gonna point at her in some fancy pointing, and I'm going to say, Lord Grim, do your work. And I'm going to cast Blight.
Oh.
She needs to make
Constitution.
a con save of 15.
Ooh, sorry. The whole world shifted. Should not set my books on my cables. That is a failure. That is a 9 on the Constitution front.
Okay, so I don't have enough D8 for this.
Feel free to roll in Roll20 if you would like, if that helps.
I'm going to, let's
Or just
see.
roll it many times.
How many d8s do you need?
8.
8.
I had the spell open because this is what she was using earlier on the creature.
Level 1 if you need it.
Torvald, you'll be up next.
Yeah, let me roll
Assuming that she's still standing.
5 and then 3. So that's 19 plus 15,
Okay.
which
So,
is
yeah, I'll work on adding that.
34.
34.
34 necrotic.
And she definitely notices that.
And I am going to
Right, big guns.
Yeah, I am going to stay where I'm at. No. I am going to take one. Hold on. I'm going to take 2 steps back.
All right. This is how it is then. Okay. Torvald, it's your turn.
How rough is she looking there?
Not terrible, but she's definitely, taken a fair bunch of damage there.
All right. Torvald is going to call down a bolt from the sky and toll the dead as it explodes next to her head.
Okay, wisdom. She ain't that wise. That is a... Oh no, she's wiser than that. She's a 19 on the wisdom.
Oh, that'll save.
Proficiency.
And then Torvald will take his hammer and he's gonna swing it around, and you see the axe head flare up out of it, and he's gonna hurl it over his head as the spirit rips out of the weapon and flies towards her, and will attack her. And that's going to be a 9 to hit.
That will not hit.
Even
No.
Squishy wizards.
No, even squishy wizards have thought a little bit further in advance. And is that everything, Torvald?
Yep, that's everything.
Okay. Which brings us to Adair.
So, DM, what do I have to roll to bite off that finger she pointed up and said she had more power in?
Well, I'll say that if you can get her, land a hit on her, you can get the finger. If you can land a bite hit on it.
Alright, well, I'm going to charge across the space at full speed, and that is going to be a 25 to hit with the bite. The claws missed.
That will hit. Yeah. So she raises up her hands sort of to shield this bear.
And that is 7 piercing damage, it calls it. For a bite. Ow. So, anyway.
Not bad. I mean, she's blood sort of spurting from her missing finger.
And I will chew.
It tastes like magic. And
Feel of her magic finger.
God. Salad fingers, no. I like rusty chops.
Butterfingers.
I am sorry. Adair. You were Adair. Is that everything, Adair?
Yeah, I think that's good enough for now. Yeah.
Okay, that brings us to Chryssara.
I am going to rage and charge her in a reckless attack. 18, so that's 18 to hit.
18 will hit, yes.
And my maul should still be lit because it doesn't stop until I say so.
That should be still going for now.
So 5, 18. That's 17 damage with 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
For attack 1. And I'm going to bring it back across with her and attempt to hit her again. That's what you get for slipping away. And that's a 16.
16 will hit.
18 points of damage, and 2 of them are fire.
Okay, she staggers back a bit, and she's like, you see worry in her eyes now. And she realizes that she is very outnumbered in this situation.
Are you going to just take us home? Or are you going to try to keep slipping away? Think carefully.
I'm not done yet.
Neither
I'm
are
not
we.
done yet. You don't scare me.
Funny, you sure do look scared.
Ira, it's your turn.
Okay. Cool. 30. We'll get on in there. Actually, Chrisara looks kind of rough, doesn't she? Yeah. I'll stay closer to the group so that way they still get advantages on saves and whatnot. I'll step closer to Chrisara and do the last of my lay on hands, which is 10. So Chrisara gets 10 health points. And that is... I'll go ahead and cast Thunderous Smite as well.
Okay.
Myself, which is basically an enhancement to my melee attack weapon. That will be relevant the next time I hit. So there we go. That'll be my turn.
He watches. Venley sort of clutches the bleeding stump of her finger, sort of glares very upwards at Chrisara. She's not that tall. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. You will regret not taking my offer. And she weaves her hands together, starts muttering a spell, brings her fingers together, and you watch as sort of the goldish colour of her eyes flares a little brighter, and then it starts to spread outwards across her skin as skin becomes scale.
Ale?
Scales.
Okay.
And her form begins to grow and expand as her face starts to... She can. One finger loss is not enough. She's got another hand as well. You only need one hand free. They're trying to do me out of my somatic gestures. As she looms taller than Chrisara, then taller than the bear, as the space where Venley was is now a huge golden dragon. And I think that might be a good place to leave off today's session.
Damn. Ah, we got this. We've done this before.
Done pissed off the dragon.
Gold dragons are technically good dragons.
But we know she's not a good dragon because of...
She's evil.
Yeah.
Do we though?
I found
You
her
don't
tasteful.
know. She tastes of magic. An elf.
She's fouling the good name of gold dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, well, all you know about her is that she was trying to extort you for your magic wand.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a dossier. But yeah, next week we will find out who will win in the fight of our heroes versus the wizard, now dragon. And how will they find their way out of the lovely plane that others may know as the Shadowfell. And where will they end up when they escape? And how on earth will they ever get back to their boat? And will they ever actually finish this part of finding the wand?
I find it more shocking that the Gith have been captured by elves.
Uh-huh.
Hey, some elves are surprisingly competent. And these were the Gith that you sort of defeated, I think, at level...
Well, that is true.
5?
They were a little inept. Yeah,
What, level 4, 5 when you defeated the Gith?
Yeah.
They're perhaps not the most competent out there. Yeah, we will find out next week. This did not go the way I expected it to in oh so many ways.
We have to keep you on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had prepared in case you went through the portal.
Well, we couldn't just leave Aldous there.
No.
And we couldn't leave some strange woman with access to our boat.
Very fair.
We definitely should have
But then
grabbed the treasure first, though.
Right.
That's gonna
Now we
haunt
may
Torvald
never
to the
get
end of its days.
Torvald's like, but the treasure.
So yes, thank you for my lovely players for not murdering me yet, and to all of you joining to viewers. If you're not already, come join the McStabbers Discord, and please, if you've got YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to save up for the shortened URL.
Yes, please come, please.
And
Please subscribe to the...
should Isfjell and overlapping team at Haunted Chronicles get to both get to 100 subscribers on YouTube, I believe there will be a giveaway happening at some point. Yes, yeah, we keep being mocked for our ridiculous garbled URL was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not fair.
Yeah.
Help
I
us.
saw it on the video, and it's like, go to YouTube, and like, no one's ever typing that.
No.
You can't click it.
No.
So you got to look down. And...
So please save us this embarrassment. It's because I've got to learn how to pronounce that otherwise. And
There is a link down below.
There is.
You gotta
Yeah.
go to the link instead of typing it.
No, I want people to commit to this.
And last I checked, I think Isfjell was at 40?
We're at 50.
50. All right, it's gone.
Halfway there.
Awesome,
Woo,
awesome,
woo.
awesome. Very good.
Now we're just living on a prayer. And I believe that is everything. Tune in for more things and check the schedule below, and it's tweeted out and it's on the Discord. And I can only get one of 3 major introductions or outros right for any given session. So I've used up mine this week, so I hope to see you next week. And I need to remember not to erase this whiteboard. Actually, I'm going to take a picture of it now.
Thanks,
Smart.
everybody. Bye.
Alright,
Bye.
bye.